Wrong button. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Good Morning Xbox. I'm your host, Axel1324.
And now they're returning Eternal Shaddai.
That's right. And Shaddai, it's been a long time since we had you with us, buddy. What have you been playing?
I have been playing. Actually, I finished Alpha Dia Genesis not too long ago with 50 hours. You remember, I'm a huge fan of JRPGs.
Wait,
Like a
wait,
true
what game is this?
Alpha Dia Genesis.
Never heard of her.
Yeah, I think like the last time I came back, I'm playing Alpha Dia, and you're like, what is this? I'm
Yeah,
like,
I'm
no,
still
it's I
like
can
so confused. All right, hold on. Alpha Dia Genesis long play. Let me see.
you will be show. I think you're gonna show part two, but it's part one.
I have no idea what's going on here.
Yeah, it's made by Chemco and Ixen, whatever it is, developer. It's a Japanese studio.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a Japanese studio looking game.
Right.
Very, very Japanese. All right, so you put 50 hours into this bad boy and finished it.
Yeah, I finished it. And then there I'm playing right now Lost Ruins.
Lost Ruins. Okay.
That's a heck of a game. I can't believe
You're
it's a
playing games I've never heard of.
Of course, because I'm a true JRPG. I'm not fraud dog. You know what I mean?
You don't like that fraud, doggy
Yeah,
dog?
that froggy dog fraud.
Dog fraud.
Yeah, I'm actually playing it.
Hmm.
So that's what I'm playing. Lost Ruin right now. Finish that one. Lost Ruins.
All right, awesome. So as you saw yesterday, I am still playing Sea of Stars. I am getting more and more into it every time I play it. It's hard to put down. The only reason I put it down is because I have to go to bed. Basically, that's it. So yeah,
I thought you were gonna play on XCloud. While you're laying on your bed.
I know because I stopped playing like at midnight. It's time to go to sleep, man.
Actually, that's the time I literally went
Yeah.
to sleep because I gotta wake up for the show. So we're the same. 12:30 or so.
Yeah, no, I can't. I can't. Gotta go to sleep sometime. But yeah. So yeah, that's what's going on. And of course, fantasy football's coming around the corner. I'm gonna set up the leagues today, so we can set up our drafts, and you guys can start planning to lose. I know Shaddai's gonna take a kicker first round this year.
Blasphemy! Here we go with the blasphemy. Hey, hey, the trick for the fantasy is defense on the fourth round.
I couldn't believe that one.
Hey, I already did it back to back, so it kind of worked on. It worked
Yeah,
for me.
it's working for you. I have no
Right?
idea how it's working for you, but it is.
It actually is.
All right, let's check in with the chat here. Of course, we got my buddy Doggy Dog 420 coming in. Thank you so much for being here. You are the real MVP. We got the Graphic God joining us. Thank you so much for being here. You are the MVP. And of course, Graphic God was on Iconic Video Games this last Friday, so be sure to
Really?
check that out. Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah, be sure to check that out. He was awesome. He was awesome. Uh, Your Wicked Hot joins us. Thank you so much for being here. You are the real MVP. Appreciate you. Let's see. Yeah, Your Wicked Hot said he went to go see the new Alien movie. It's amazing. I do love my Alien movies. I'm gonna have to check it out. Everybody's saying that it's doing good with a $50 million budget. Yep, yep. Let's see. JD is in the chat. Thank you so much for being here. You are the real MVP. He says, "Good morning, guys. Sorry I can't make the show as I am on vacation with my wife and daughter in Madrid. Catch you all soon." Wow, Madrid. That's so cool, man. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. That's cool. Never been to Europe. Never. The only time I've been to Europe was to transfer, but otherwise I've never been to Europe. I don't think it counts, Let's see. General Spartan's in the house. Thank you so much for being here. You are the real MVP. We appreciate you. Let's see. Let's see who else we got. We got RWK88 in the house. Thank you so much for being here. You are the real MVP. He says, "What's up? What's up?" RWK88, thank you so much. Let's see. Hello, you friends just mad like your trash sports teams. Wow. Wow.
And you're talking to a person that won a fantasy.
Did you win? Did you?
The
Who
first,
was the champ?
I was because that was the first time when I took that defense on the fourth round. I won
Mhm.
that year. The second one I didn't.
I know that our first time champion didn't come back. Did he? I don't know. I'll have to look at it. I'll have to look at it.
That was
But yeah,
awesome.
we'll have a fantasy football stream later. But yeah.
But you know what? Just a reminder. This year, the sinking ship of the Vikings, we already know what's happening. I feel sorry for Titan Drago.
Oh my god. Did you ever see that scene in the? Did you ever see the movie The Replaceables?
I think I heard of it, but no.
Or they made a comedy of it, making fun of it, and the coach like spits a sunflower seed onto the field, and the player steps on it and breaks his leg in half, and I'm like, that's what's happening to the Vikings right now.
Yo, they're like
Yeah.
skulls and bones, sinking ship.
Yeah, but we're here to talk games, not football. This isn't a football podcast.
Hey, but I did
Shout
mention
out
skulls
to
and bones.
shout out to Game Complainers. Thank you so much for being here. You're on the real MVP. Hey, let's start the show off with some announcements, shall we?
Let's go
Uh,
for it.
so up from Sad Cat Studios, they announced that Replaced is being delayed. So this is kind of small text, so I'm going to read it here. It says, "Hey everyone, we'll keep it short. Replaced will now be released in 2025. Our initial release date was optimistic, and we apologize for that. Developing Replaced is quite a unique challenge, and we're proud to be creating something that's special. We need more time to ensure we meet the high standards we set for ourselves to meet the expectations of our fans. Feel free to join our Discord. We post lots of devlogs there to share with the progress and are open for chat. Replaced was featured at Summer Game Fest earlier this summer, and now will also be featured available at Gamescom for everyone to play. Come say hi. For those not attending, we prepared something special for later this week. Now back to work. We want you to love Replaced when it launches, so we have to go the extra mile here. Sad Cat Studios teams. All right. So if you don't remember Replaced, when it got announced on the showcase, I was loving it. And they did a first peek with IGN. So I'm sorry that this is IGN here. But this is the 13-minute playthrough of Replaced that's going to be playing here. But Shaddai Replaced, an indie darling that looks amazing. Are you excited for this game? You said it's delayed.
Well, the name says it all, is being replaced to 2025.
Yeah.
Uh, I am not surprised by it. A lot of the video games projects are being pretty much pushed back to 2025, and I know I wasn't here, but we already heard it from Avowed being moved to 2025. So
Mhm.
now we're seeing this more of, very common.
Mhm.
Uh, this is a game that yes, I am really looking forward to it since the last night is not gonna come out. So this is my second one behind that. But I'm not surprised. Let the team have their time. Like the team says, they want to make something special.
Mhm.
If next week we're gonna have something special, I wouldn't be surprised if we get the demo of it to see how it is.
Mhm.
If they're gonna announce a demo for us to play during Gamescom is is still going. I really want to play that demo. This is something that I'm looking forward to it. I'm very hyped for this. So 2025 is looking kind of stacked.
Yeah. About time that this generation started feeling stacked. But yeah, the I'm very excited for this game. After watching this long play with the developer talking in the background about it,
Mhm.
it just makes my hype go up even more because they showed some cool stuff in it, talking about camera angles, showing combat, and it just looks like it's taking a lot of effort for an indie title. I'm just like, dang, they're bringing up the. I don't know if you can consider this an indie title anymore because man, the effort going into it. They're doing motion capture for this game,
Oof.
and I'm just like, what for an indie game? There's motion capture, and here I am thinking about making an indie game, and I'm like, I don't think I have the budget. you know, the music sounds phenomenal. The everything just I'm very hyped for this game. I've been very hyped since it was first revealed on the Xbox Game Showcase 2 years ago. Of course, I love the new trailer we got at the Game Awards, And now I'm loving this, the deep dive that we saw. So it is super cool. I'm really looking forward to it.
The question is this: is this game 2D, 3D?
It's like two, and I want to say it's being made in 3D because later on they move some of the camera angles in
Mm.
such a way that it just rotates the camera.
Yeah, because the first one who kept doing that was Octopath Traveler. So I don't know if they're taking that route with this game. When it comes to
Yeah,
visuals.
I think this one is more like it only rotates the camera during cinematics.
Oh, okay, I see. Like right now.
Oh yeah, I mean, this isn't rotating. This is just moving. I mean, a full rotation, like
No, earlier it actually did because I guess it was going through
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
software.
yeah, yeah. You're right. At the beginning,
Yep,
yes.
yep, yep.
Sorry, you are correct. Should I?
Hmm.
Yes. So yeah, this game is phenomenal. They can take all the time. This year has been stacked this fall, as I have no idea why everybody just stacks all their game in the fall. Like everybody forgets that the rest of the months of the year exist. Plus, I still haven't even played my Elden Ring Shadow of the Earth Tree DLC. So yeah. Oh, there's another place where they rotate the camera. So you'll have to
But
check it out.
see
I
what
want
I
to leave it.
mean is that
Yeah.
camera angle. You can see like a 2D, 3D just by looking at the floor.
Yeah. But now look at this right here. They're gonna rotate it right here, all the way around. Like, check it out. You see what I mean?
Ah, see.
Do you see?
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, that's what I mean. That they're gonna rotate the camera, and it looks very cool. Very cool. Can't wait. You guys take your time. I'm sure this game is gonna be phenomenal. Yes.
Yeah,
But
lately those 2D games are looking well. They're like really, really good. So I don't know if that 2D platformer or whatever you want to call it, action adventure, is
mhm.
is making a comeback.
I'm okay with it. Those are the
Me
kind of
too.
games I grew up with, so I'm okay with it.
Me too.
Yeah. On to another announcement. Speaking of delays, this was delayed earlier this year, but recently we got the deep dive for it, and that is none other than Stalker 2. Stalker 2 had a developer deep dive on the Xbox channel, in case anybody missed it. But before we get into Stalker 2, let's check in with the chat. Crazy Greek Dude is in the chat. Thank you so much for being here. You are the real MVP. And Xbox International Podcast en Espanol is here. Shout
That's
out to you. Thank you so much for being here. You are the real MVP. He says, good morning.
yep. That's Elvio right there.
That's Elvio. Okay.
Yep.
What's up, Elvio? Yeah. I'm trying to make room for the Xbox International Podcast guys, but right now I'm stacked till August, but I'll make sure they get on through August, but I'll make sure that they get on here soon.
Remember,
Let's see.
they're two different things.
Yeah, I know they're two different podcasts, but yeah. So this was a developer deep dive. So just in summary, they said that there will be 20 regions available to be explored, complete with their own identities and dangers. So that's cool. And you'll be able to explore anywhere without restrictions in those regions. So that's cool. Now, how big the regions are, I'm unsure, but I like that there's 20 regions, and that's kind of cool. The character in the story, Skiff, Skif, is the main character, a common person. Um, you can have freedom of choice that will determine the outcome of quest. And there's 3 hours of cutscene footage in this game, so not too much cutscene if you really think about it, because nowadays games come out with like 40 hours of cutscenes. So not too many cutscenes on that right there. Oops, sorry, I forgot to put that away. Progression. So progression, they have it. If you go off the path, you can find more weapons to progress faster. There is no leveling system. Instead, you progress through your equipment and experiences. So if you don't explore, you don't get equipment, so you don't progress. So
Mm.
there is no RPG element in this game. So that's kind of cool. They showed off some enemies like what you're seeing here, the pseudo dog. And they have a Bayun cat and the controller, which is like a mutant, I believe they said it was, that raises the amount of radiation in the area. So you want to kill them as fast as possible. So the mutant And by the way, all the bad guys are mutated, but the mutant to me kind of seemed like the most dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so there are 35 available weapons. Not all anomalies will be dangerous. There is a weight limit that you can carry, so inventory management is going to be a thing. Factions, you can change leadership on them. Um, and there's two factions that I think they talked about: the loners, yeah, the loners, and the duty. And and Skiff's health has to be maintained by eating and sleeping. So you do have to sleep in this game,
Mm.
which brings it down for me. That is a downer for me. In a game where you have to eat and sleep, it just bothers me because now my inventory has to go towards like
Well,
camping and towards food and stuff. So that brings it down a little bit for me. But other than that, Stalker 2 is looking phenomenal, looking like a big game. Shout out to these guys for continuing development during the terrible things that are happening in their country.
mm-hmm.
But the the game looks good. Overall, the game looks good. I haven't played any of the other Stalkers. I haven't bought them yet. As I said, I have a massive backlog, so I'm trying to keep myself from buying more games as much as I can. But I'm like addicted to buying games and just adding them to the beautiful backlog. So yeah. But before we get into talking a little bit more about Stalker 2, Dreadful makes a shout out to Dreadful. Much for
Ooh.
being here.
Turn guys.
Yeah. So we were talking about the Stalker deep dive. You saw the notes I put in the chat, so be sure to read those notes because I just finished reading them in our group. But Shaddai, what do you think about Stalker 2? Are you still hyped for it, even though there's going to be eating and sleeping required?
Okay,
Required.
let's go for this.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of Metro series. I'm a
Mm-hmm,
really
mm-hmm.
huge fan. Still working on part 2 and Exodus, but when I first saw Stalker 2, I thought it was part of the Metro universe, but it wasn't. But I
Mm-hmm.
never played a Stalker game. I didn't know it actually existed until I found out that the part 1 was only on PC until I heard that it was going to be ported for the console. So I haven't played it yet, Stalker. But if I play this, it's going to be the first time I play. I play it for the series.
Yeah.
Am I going to play this? Yes. But at the same time, I'm not truly sure because I'm with you. There's a lot of games that it needs to be finished,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't want that to be. Well, it's still going to end up in the backlog anyways.
Yeah.
Whether you want to play or not, because we already saw earlier when you show the video, the map looks so extensive, and it was only a small part that
Yeah.
they show. It seems to me that it's gonna be bigger than expected. While you just said that you gotta eat and sleep, they're trying to make it as real as possible when it comes to survival games, and it does have some, unless if I'm wrong, some not, it's not like a battle royale, but it's like you really have to survive. Like you really have to survive.
Yeah. Survival is in there, and it
See,
is like battle royale, like you said. There is
because you gotta
no
come here. I think you said you have
progression
to get
system. It's all
right,
equipment. Yeah,
right,
it's all
right.
equipment.
So it does have implementation of battle royale type for a single player,
Yeah.
which,
Well, it's more of an adventure game. Adventure games don't have progression; they have equipment. So, like, if you remember the original Zelda, you didn't level up; you just found more stuff.
but in battle royale, remember you get a bag, but you gotta get a level 2, like in PUBG, a level 3, so you can get more stuff.
It'll be
So
interesting. It'll be interesting because I do like that.
yeah, because that's what it seems like to me. But at the same time, the little item box that they showed, for some reason, it reminds me of Resident Evil 4, the case.
Hmm.
Because I'm like, I'll play it. I love these things, but I know it's gonna take a long while for me to beat this. But I am actually looking forward to this. Anything to support this team, they really did. I'm with you, Axel. They did sacrifice a lot of things. So
Definitely, definitely. Dreadful. I hope you read some of the notes. Stalker 2 Are you still hyped for this game? And it was delayed, but did you see the deep dive? And what do you think after the deep dive?
I actually didn't see the deep dive, so unfortunately, I've been extremely busy. But I did skim over the notes. I do like the fact that they have uh, increased the size of the game, basically.
Hmm.
Yeah, crazy big.
You know what I mean? So even with the hardships that they're facing and everything that they're doing, they're trying to make sure that this game is not an excuse as to, hey, this is what happened and this is what you get. They're trying to literally make the game that they always wanted to make, even with the hardships that they're having,
Hmm.
and show you that anything is possible. So unfortunately, uh, we all know the circumstances, and the delay is what it is. But it's great that they're doing so much to make a great game, and that's the thing. Once a game has a bad reputation, that's it. You know,
See, yeah,
three
yeah.
four three
So
Halo. What are you guys
what?
listening?
Halo doesn't have
But
a bad rap.
you know
Everybody
what I'm
just hates on
saying?
Halo because it's not their Halo.
No, exactly. But and it's cool how they've incorporated this. I do like the more on the adventure style.
Hmm.
Hmm.
I I'm not a fan of limiting what you can carry, but again, it alters the gameplay. So depending on how you look at it, it could be a good thing because now you got to be a little bit more strategic. You can't just have 30 guns, on you, and then oh, I just happen to find the ammo for this gun. I happen to find the ammo for that gun. Now you got to be a little bit more strategic as to how you approach it.
Resident
Yeah.
Evil Zero type. You
Yeah,
got to
yeah,
drop this to me.
yeah.
By the way, I
Again,
love this because it does. Let me go back. Hold on. Right here. Hold on.
Resident
Let,
Evil
let it
4.
load. Sorry, guys. I have like 50 windows open, so the RAM use is heavy. Oh no, I think I just broke my chat.
oh no, oh
Oh
no.
man. Oh, there it
Good
goes. Hold
morning,
on.
everyone.
Um. Anyways, it was a screenshot of the inventory and how it showed what he was wearing
Yes,
and
Mm.
everything inside there, kind of like the there we go,
right
right
there.
here, and you can see how much everything weighs. And then on the right, it has all your equipment, kind of like a Diablo inventory screen.
No, Resident Evil 4 type.
It reminds me of Diablo personally, but
Mm.
yeah,
Hey,
I really
hey,
like this inventory screen. And again, this is your progression right here. Wow, wow, Ram, wow.
so you heard it here. Please like, subscribe, share this out. Let's get
Yeah,
Axel up in his subscribers so he can get monetized and get a new computer that can handle all this.
you know what? This computer can handle it. I have no idea why it's the. Every now and again, I feel like I need to restart the computer to clear all the buffers. You know,
I do that
it
every
just
stream.
You
yeah.
know, you know
Every
what's
stream
funny
I
is,
restart.
you know what? It's funny since the last time I came over here, he was supposedly he had a thunderstorm and everything had a power outage. So now this is the outcome of it.
Oh
Oh,
my gosh. Oh yeah. Oh, by the way, that internet. What ended up happening when my internet went down was somebody cut my line at the main neighborhood main, and the guy had to repair my fiber wire.
There you go.
Yeah, I was like, who would do that? He's like, I have no idea.
it
And I'm
was a
like,
hoof
you know who it was? It was
troll.
another AT&T technician.
It
You know
was
who
a
it
hoof
was.
troll that doesn't like Good Morning Xbox. You're already getting attacked.
I'm not even to 500 subscribers, and I'm already getting hated on in real life.
No, but yeah, it's cool to see that they're doing so much more than just here's your game, here you go, and move on. You can see the passion that they were putting into it. So yeah, it's a definite
Yeah,
must play.
it's looking great to me
It's
personally.
Hmm.
yeah.
It is.
Yeah, it's looking fantastic. Can't wait to play it. Let's check in with the chat real quick. Um, so Perry is having issues with the chat, so I told him, I have my chat settings set to not allow curse words. He says he didn't curse, but YouTube doesn't seem to think so. I'm just messing with you, Perry. RWK88 says you get more subs, Axel, if we can curse. I don't know if I want that in my chat. Being honest, I read a lot of these chats, and I don't want to be cursing reading chats. Just saying, just saying. Shout out to Sith Lord. Thank you so much for being here. You are the real MVP. And of course, as always, try to thank you so much for shouting the show out on your Twitter. Appreciate it. On your X account, whatever. Yes. And shout out to Happy Cloud Gamer. Thank you so much for being here. You are the real MVP. And he says, try to use Shadow PC. Shadow PC allows you to enjoy the quality and power of a gaming PC in the cloud, accessible anywhere on all your compatible devices. I've never heard of Shadow PC, but I don't know if it's going to help with streaming. Just saying. Just putting it out there. I don't know if it will help. All right, on to some more celebratory news here. I don't know if you guys heard about this little game that released a few years ago called Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy. This was a chat topic brought up by Eternal Should Die. So you can see the big announcement here. Since joining Xbox Game Pass and PC Game Pass last week, we've seen a huge 2,808% increase in Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy players. Should die. This was brought up by you, buddy. Take it away. Can't hear Should die. He's muted.
I don't know how I ended up muted. Probably because I was trying to move it and I pressed the button by mistake. Well, this is something I am not shocked by it. They did said that they were going to put Activision games on Game Pass, and this is the first time I hear that you could go beyond 100%. Being good. This is almost 3,000. That's kind of insane. This is one of the games, one of the franchises that is really well known. Not a lot of people like platformers for some reason, but from what I could see, Crash Bandicoot still have that popularity, and especially when it's on Game Pass, we saw the big numbers jump. That is insane. And the funny part is that I was playing this game not too long ago. For some reason, I just wanted to go back to Crash, and all of a sudden, I saw this, pop up. So I'm one of those 3,000% increase because the game is good. The game is good, and it's more games for Game Pass.
Yeah, I wanna play this game. I really do. Again, nice. It's in the backlog. See, it starts first. But yeah, they have a sample size of 2.4 million Xbox accounts. Of course, this is true achievements, and they can only sample people who have active accounts on their website. And they can only collect data for the 200 most top played Xbox games. Crash wasn't on there. And then it suddenly jumped 189 spots to 11th place after joining Game Pass. So that is impressive.
Yes, it is. Especially when you have 3 games in one.
What's that?
And you get 3 games in one.
You sure do. You get these 3 games right here, buddy.
Yeah.
Crash Bandicoot, Crash Bandicoot 2, and Crash Bandicoot 3. So yeah. Very impressive. There you go. The power of Xbox Game Pass showing off right there. I mean, hey, if monthly active users are a thing, there you go. More reasons to subscribe right there.
Even when Diablo 4 was there, they saw another increase.
Yes.
So back to back, they're having that outcome.
Absolutely. Dread, Crash Bandicoot, Insane Trilogy, jumping up. Were you part of that jump, or are you adding it to your backlog like I am?
I love why he's saying I got muted and now Dread is muted.
Yeah, Dread is also muted too.
I am muted. It's already on my backlog. So this one goes out to RWK. So anyway, no, it's already on my backlog. And before the 360 store shut down, I bought all the backwards compatible Crash Bandicoot games that they had that we didn't have already. So again, it's just one of those things. It's Death Dealer's, one of Death Dealer's favorite franchises. I love the franchise, but it's not a favorite of mine per se. But yeah, it's one of those must plays, and for this to come back, and as a trilogy, is great. But I already bought it, so
Oh, he
maybe
already bought it. All right.
I
So
already
he's not
bought
going
it.
to be a Game Pass player. He's
So
going to be a
I'm with
purchaser.
him.
which
I'm
is
with him.
this is why it's already in my backlog. You know what I mean? So,
Yes.
but Tiny Giant loved playing it too, though.
I mean, it looks good compared to the PS1 version.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I think you could switch it to
You could
the.
switch it to the old school graphics.
That's interesting. Okay. Yeah, it's still a difficult game though. So I don't know. Like I said, backlogged. That's what it is for me. Backlogged. And again, lots of games are in the backlog. So don't think I'm just backlogging you because you're Crash Bandicoot. I'm backlogging you because, well, it's just natural at this point. All right. So that is it for the announcements today. Let's check in with the chat. Let's see who all made it in. It's Timothy Bot joins us. Thank you so much for being here. You are the real MVP. Let's see. Yeah, not much on the announcement. Oh, here we go. The Game Complainer says, singing Mike's awesome theme song in the chat gets flagged when there's isn't any curse words in it. Okay. Oh my goodness. Let's see. Happy Cloud Gamer says it's a full PC in the cloud Windows PC. Interesting. Again, I don't know if it will help me because I have to stream. So yeah, I don't know about streaming from the cloud if that will work. All right, let's move on to the news, the actual news that we're going to talk about here. Let me get to it. All right, so yeah, Nate the Hate announced that or shared that Final Fantasy XVI is going to happen. So this was on Wednesday on Reset Era. Of course, Reset Era, the best place to get your leaks. Reset Era. He said, Velgo said, if more Xbox games are going over, I think it's only fair Final Fantasy comes back in. I've already played them on PS5, but it's not fair when Xbox is losing exclusives and all fans want in return is Final Fantasy 16. Nate the Hate says, Final Fantasy 16 on Xbox is going to happen. Just waiting for Square to announce it. So that must be they're pretty deep into development of Final Fantasy 16. Interesting Shadai. Interesting thoughts. You want to expand on that a little more?
I actually saw the game. Somebody playing this, so it looks really good.
Yeah. So Final Fantasy 16. Of course, my buddy Doggy played it.
Fraud.
And he said that he loves it. It's really good. He keeps recommending it to me. And of course, this is going to be a PlayStation trailer we're going to be watching here because it's not on Xbox yet. But I am hyped for Final Fantasy 16. I am so hyped that I bought it just like a week ago. But now it's coming to Xbox, and I'm like, what the heck? Do I have to return it? I haven't opened it yet, so I might have to return it. But yeah, Nate the Hate, of course, he has a pretty good record when it comes to leaks. So the fact is that they're just waiting on Square to announce the Final Fantasy 16 is coming to Xbox, as it should. There's lots of people who would love to play Final Fantasy who are Xbox only gamers. And of course, if Final Fantasy starts coming to Xbox, that's just it takes away one of the reasons why I bought a PS5 though. So it leaves me in the predicament of, do I have to sell it? Probably not. I never sell any of my consoles, as you can see. So yeah, Final Fantasy 16. I'm very hyped. I definitely think it should come over. I really think Final Fantasy needs to release on every platform that it possibly can at the same time. No more delays. Final Fantasy has been around since I was a kid, and I love that it's still around. I think Square Enix has done a good job of taking care of Final Fantasy. But people are the youngins aren't enjoying what I enjoyed as a kid because it just Square just they said, oh, our sales didn't meet expectations. Well, you're not meeting gamers where they play. You gotta put this stuff where gamers are. Day one. Screw that staggered launch crap. Day one at all. That's all I say. But those are my thoughts. So hopefully we'll get Final Fantasy 16, and maybe in 10 years when Final Fantasy 17 finally comes out, it'll come out day and date on every platform it possibly can, including Xbox. So we'll see what happens. Should I? Have you played Final Fantasy 16, or are you going to play Final Fantasy 16 when it comes to Xbox?
Okay, I played a little bit of Final Fantasy 16.
Mm-hmm.
Really good looking game. Linear. The game is pretty much linear like any other Final Fantasy. Very, very different when it comes to the gameplay. Very, very, very different.
Mm-hmm.
This is something that we expected because I don't know if it was 3 years ago or so.
Mm-hmm.
Square Enix had that little event, and Phil Spencer showed up, and they were announcing that the new CEO of Square Enix wanted it to play their games on other platforms. And listening to this is not something that I'm very surprised. And plus, probably they will boost their sales because remember, they didn't sell well. It is a good game, but they didn't sell well because it was an exclusive game. And Final Fantasy games pretty much, they should have been multi-platform. Sorry to say it like
Absolutely.
this,
You should have.
but
Yeah.
sorry to say it like this, but Sony does not own Square Enix. But I am not surprised. I'm not surprised. This is a game that, like I said, I played it. I love it and how it is. And by announcing, actually by Nate announcing that this is going to the Xbox, I will play it because I already finished 15. Not too long ago, we already have 14.
Oh, 14 never ends, bro. 14
Yeah,
never ends.
it's an MMO.
Yeah.
So, but this is one of the games that I wanted it to play. I haven't played a new Final Fantasy for a while, so this
Okay.
is something that I would like to play. I would really love to play this. A
So you
true
already played this a
RPG.
bit on your PS5, you said, right?
No. I was at my friend's house.
Oh, okay. So you played it on your friend's PS5.
Yeah, she loved Final Fantasy.
Oh, wow.
So
Okay.
she loved Final Fantasy, and there was a boss that she couldn't beat. So I'm like, let me try it. And when I did it, I'm like, oh, so this is what you do, and this is what you do, and this is what you do. Oh, okay. So I
Yeah, I
played
heard
it.
the combat is good.
Yeah, the combat is really, really good. So I played it at least for 15 to 20 minutes.
That's awesome. So
Yeah,
when it comes to Xbox, are you going to buy it on Xbox, or are you going to buy it for your PS5?
well, I don't have a PS5, so it is going to the Xbox.
So are you going to buy it?
Yes, I know it's gonna be on. If they're gonna say on Game Pass, that's fine and dandy. But it just I love having it. Like I could say I own. I bought it.
Yeah. So like I said, I just bought Final Fantasy 16 for my PlayStation 5, and of course I haven't opened it yet as I'm finishing S.T.A.L.K.E.R. But then up next is more Final Fantasy on my PS5. I rotate my consoles. So I'll play a game here, play a game here, play a game here, play a game here. And if I have nothing to play on that console, I'll skip it and go to the next one. But Final Fantasy is one of the reasons I bought a PS5, that exclusion contract that they signed with Square to exclude Xbox. Jerks. So, I bought Final Fantasy VII, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Final Fantasy 16, all on my PS5, along with God of Wars. Those are the games I bought my PS5 for. And, if I play other games and find them at good deals, like at $5 or less, of course I'm going to buy them. But
Now,
until such a time, this is what I bought. And the thing is that when it comes to Xbox, it's going to... I already know Square Enix is going to charge $70, whereas I already got it for like $20-something on PS5. So I'm going to keep my PS5 version. No, I'm not going to double dip and buy this on Xbox brand new. But if I ever see it used for $5, physical copy, yeah, I'll pick it up, play it again, get my achievements. But for now, it's all about the trophies for me on this bad boy, just because I'm not going to double dip. Sorry, I'm not a double dipper. I know a lot of people are, but I'm not. I don't buy games more than once. I want to use my money wisely to buy as many different games as possible. But yeah, Final Fantasy 16, to me, this is a huge, huge announcement. Huge rumor by again Nate the Hate on Reset Era. But yeah, I mean, bring this home to Xbox. Bring this home to Xbox, baby. Lots of people will love to play it.
How many Final Fantasy Xbox have, and we still doesn't we don't have Final Fantasy 7 or 14.
Yeah, we don't have the pixel remasters. We don't have so we don't have. We have the OGs 1 through 6, and we have the OG 7 on Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but we don't have the remasters. We don't have 8, 9, 10. Do we? Yeah, we do. We
Yeah,
do have 8, 9, and 10.
yeah, because I finished
Right.
9. The
10.
only
We have
thing that
10,
I
10 2.
yep, 10.
Yeah, we have a lot of them. Yeah, we have. So the only ones that are truly missing are the pixel remasters, the 7 remakes, and now we have 14, so we're good there. I guess maybe we never did. We ever get 11? I don't know if we did.
No, supposedly during that year, I think they were having problems with Microsoft and the internet because of their agreement, license agreement that they
Mhm.
have in the policy.
Yeah, so we didn't get 11. But and of course we didn't get 16. So hopefully 16 will come. Complete the Final Fantasy collection on the Xbox, baby. And of course, if I like a Final Fantasy enough, I'll buy it more than once. Like I bought Final Fantasy VII, the OG, the re-releases, the the remasters, like 10 times. So yeah, I have a favorite. But anyways, Dread, I don't know. You have a PS5. Did you buy Final Fantasy 16? Are you a Final Fantasy 16 interested guy or not on your
Mm.
radar?
If you looked in the chat, HE double hockey sticks, no, I'll pass. Um,
I
I
do
am a
see it now.
fan.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Yeah,
H, hold on, hold on, hold on. Oh my gosh, what happened?
Blasphemy.
Here we go.
I'm a fan of.
HE double hockey sticks. No. All
Yeah, I'm a
right,
fan of
sorry.
Final Fantasy. I love their story, but ever since they sold out, I just can't support them anymore. You know what I mean?
Well, hold on. When did they sell out? I want to know when exactly they
They
sold
sold
out.
out when they took the contract of keeping everything off of other platforms.
All right, so 7 remake.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I
So
guess technically it started with 14 because 14 took a long time to come.
US 3 and technically 6.
6. Yeah.
That's my favorite. And it's always going to be my favorite, and
Yeah, the
that's
Super Nintendo
that's
Classic, baby.
that's where I stop. After that, I just kind of like
Hmm.
So, but yeah, it's just gotten worse. It's just their practices. So I don't support them anymore. And then they wonder why, because they keep on using narratives of, well, nobody supports us over here. Well, yeah, no one's gonna support. No one's gonna. If I sell you something and I say you can't buy it over here, but then years later I said, you know what? Now over here you can buy it. Those people that really wanted to buy something had already bought it on the other platform that I made it for. So the demographic is not going to be there to show interest because they've moved on.
Yeah, I mean,
And
that is
that's
100%
the issue I
true.
have. Again, it's basically bold-faced lies using numbers, using Excel. If they had gone across the board and said, okay, it's going to come over to Xbox, it's going to come over to PlayStation, it's going to come over to Switch, but in this time frame, I can understand that. But it's like, nope, we ain't talking about Xbox, we ain't talking about nothing. Um, we ain't talking about, it's only PlayStation and PC. That's it.
Hmm.
And then years later, it's finally gonna happen. But no, I don't. And then they turn around and blame Xbox gamers for not buying it. Well, the Xbox gamers couldn't wait. They bought it on PlayStation or they bought it on PC.
Hmm.
If you, I mean, you right there. You just said it yourself. I'm not waiting. I'm buying it. I'm not double dipping. You know what? So they can dip potato chip this.
Dip, dip, potato chip.
Okay. That's what I'm. That's my plan to them. If they were to say, if they were honest about it, and they're not, which is what really pisses me off, is the
Mhm.
fact that they're not honest about their numbers. Yes, they are correct over here, but they're not honest. in the whole circular
Like,
um, definition of everything that they've done, and
yeah,
that's the problem.
yeah.
You
I
know,
mean, if this sort of game came to Game Pass, or not to Game Pass, sorry, I apologize for that. If this sort of came to Xbox, I would have bought it day one.
right?
But because it came out on my PS5. I waited until it's got a huge sale. Of course, I still bought it on PS5, but not for $70. But if this would have came to Xbox, I would have spent that $70.
And
So yeah,
here's my other question: are they counting players? Are they counting the money that they received from Sony also included with the Sony players? You know what I'm saying?
oh, who knows, man?
So again, we don't know
Square has always been
because they're
like
not being
sales
honest.
expectations.
Exactly, but they're not being honest. And I understand there's certain things you don't reveal,
Mm-hmm.
but if you're going to play this game, hey, you know what? This is the game I'm playing. You're liars, and I'm not supporting that.
Mm.
So, yeah.
But
Good
who
morning,
doesn't
by the
lie?
way.
Yeah, but who doesn't lie? It's just probably a
Yeah,
white lie.
who doesn't lie?
Yeah.
Everybody lies, but you just gotta be a little more honest. What didn't they do an earnings report recently that basically said that 90% of their funding was coming from Final Fantasy 14 or something like that? So even like Final Fantasy 16 was only like 1% or three between 1 and 3% of their funding or something like that. Didn't they say something like that recently?
I don't remember.
Me either. I don't remember.
If they did, I don't have it pulled up, and if I do have it pulled up, it's so far down, so many weeks back. There's lots of stuff I pull up for conversations that don't make it onto the show, and I just save article after article after article, and it just never comes up. Anyways, so yeah, here it is. Okay, yeah. So let's see. Nope, that's not it. That's not it. Sorry, my
All right,
bad.
can I answer Happy Cloud Gamer?
Yeah. Oh, hold on. What's this question? Let me put it up. Where is it?
It's the one before the last.
The one before the last.
If you're a Final
This one?
Fantasy fan. No. Happy Cloud Gamer.
Oh, Happy Cloud Gamers. Hold on. Here we go. Found it. Okay.
All right.
Happy Cloud Gamer says, if you're a Final Fantasy fan, you did not buy an Xbox Series X to expect them coming on Xbox. Well, that's
Correct.
the expectation they set.
That is correct. I did not expect them because I was a fan of Square back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
I was a fan of, and I stopped at Final Fantasy VI. That is where my fandom of the series stopped.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't a fan of the new format that they did, but that was also part of the understanding of, I'm still going to support them. But I didn't buy a console exclusively for a certain game. I bought a console, especially when it comes to the Series X. I bought it for what the console can do, not expecting a certain game. It's like saying, I bought the Xbox One X because Phil Spencer said that the VR was going to be supported and we were going to get VR games.
Mm-hmm.
He said it was capable, and they changed their mind. I'm not playing that kind of game. I bought it for what I know that the console can do and the games that I'm expecting to come over. But I'm not sitting there going, it better come over, and this is why I bought it. I bought it for this game, and lo and behold, it's not here. So I'm not doing that. I'm not that kind of guy.
Right.
So I hope
Yeah, I mean,
I hope we're
there's-
on the same page.
my
Happy
primary
Cloud
console,
Gamer.
being Xbox, I buy it because, it's where I game, and so I love every game that comes to Xbox. I do.
It's the
I love the
ecosystem.
opportunity to play the games that come to Xbox, right? And of course, every other console, other than my primary console, I buy them for specific games after a few years. Like, I did not fight anybody for this PS5. I waited until it was readily available, got it at a $50 discount, came with a game. So I'm good to go, So it's one of those things. But like my Xbox, yeah, I waited in line. I needed it day one, right? Because it's where I game. So yeah, I understand what you're saying, Dreadful. Let me check in with the chat real quick. Doggy Dog says Final Fantasy 16 is really good.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Fraud.
And he says it's one of the few games worth having a PS5 for. The Game Complainer says Square learned a really hard lesson here. Don't keep games off platforms. We'll talk about their lesson here in a minute. Shout out to Back from the Dead. Thank you so much for being here. You are the real MVP. I saw a post of yours on Twitter recently. I think you were on vacation in Greece or something like that. That's really awesome. Let's see. Happy Cloud Gamer says, there's so many games I will play before I play Final Fantasy 16 or any Final Fantasy
That's
game.
true.
Yeah. Shout out to Fastback. He says, good morning, Xbox Axel. Sorry, I've been out of pocket. Hey, no problem, man. Thank you so much for being here, Fastback. You are the real MVP. We appreciate you. Death Dealer, shout out to you. Thank you so much for being here. You are the real MVP. And be sure to catch Death Dealer tonight on Majestic Mayhem. Be sure to put that up on the show. I'll link you. Let's see. Happy Cloud Gamer says he's not buying games to collect anymore. I obviously am a collector. I do love my collection. But I don't buy them and keep them unwrapped because, like a lot of these statues and stuff, a lot of collectors won't open it because, collector's value. I'm like, screw that. I bought it for me. I'm going to enjoy it. Once I pass away, somebody can worry about the value after that. Let's see. So yeah, I totally understand collecting styles. Let's see. Game Complainer says Square doesn't deserve money for keeping games away from fans. Pirate all Square games. They didn't need us anyway, right?
Wow.
There you go. Join the pirate life. Shout out to DE. Thank you so much for being here. You are the real MVP. How long does that last? Were there diehards that wouldn't play Final Fantasy VII because they weren't on Nintendo anymore? How long do you hold out? I held out for Final Fantasy VII Remake for the whole Xbox One generation, and when I finally got this PS5, I went and bought Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rebirth. So yeah, I held out for a few years, but I mean, you can only hold out for so long if you really enjoy a series. So I do. They sold me a console on Final Fantasy. It worked. I guess their marketing worked on me. So yeah. Let's see. Scroll will probably be like low sales on Xbox. See, nobody wanted it on Xbox. Yet the interest died down because it came late. Absolutely. Let's see. And when it went on Xbox, Final Fantasy 13, were there Sony fanboys who said Square sold out? How long does it hold out last? I don't know, man. I think third party needs to be third party on everything. That's all I'm saying. If you're a third party dev, you need to be on everything. And if you're not on everything, just straight up announce that you have an exclusivity deal. I would respect that more than just some baloney. We wanted to focus on one platform only. Just straight up told me you got money handed. I would respect it more.
Yeah, exactly. Be truthful. A little bit more transparency.
I'd still talk crap, but it would be respectfully.
No, but a little bit more transparency is all we ask for. We don't ask for every single detail in your metrics and stuff, but a little bit more transparency. And
it's like they're scared, like we're gonna blast them. Oh, you sold out!
Oh no, I'm totally gonna still say it, but respectfully.
Yeah, but you're not gonna be screaming it from the top of your lungs once you find out, years later that they sold out.
Oh no, if I find out through a leak, oh man, it's even worse.
Yeah, exactly.
Dreadful, you're doing some cooking. Why don't you read this one here?
Square can dip their master cheeks in some hibachi sauce.
Let's see. Happy Cloud Gamer says, I think Square Enix games will work out next generation of gaming. Square runs back to Xbox when they need money. Who are they? DSP? DSP? I don't know what DSP means. I have a guess of what it means, but I'm not going to say it. Let's see. Everybody's agreed with Dread. Absolutely. Dread knows his stuff. Absolutely. Let's see. Google Paul, thank you so much for being here. You are the real MVP. He says, they turn Final Fantasy into Michael Bay movies. Pretty to look at, but forgettable in my opinion. I don't know, man. I still love him. I'm interested in playing the new Final Fantasy, but I'll wait for the deep sales on PC or Xbox. Yeah, I just said that. I just spent like $20-something on my copy. I'm not giving him $70.
Hey, I use Bing points.
I wouldn't even waste my Bing points on that. There's other games I play day one than that.
Hey, there's some games that you're desperate to play, and you're going to be using those Bing points.
Yeah, day one desperate, not 5 years desperate. Yeah, let's see. Sir X-Men joins us. Thank you so much for being here, Sir X-Men. You are the real MVP. He says, Final Fantasy X will always be one of my favorite ones. I have it on my Xbox now. I'm happy Final Fantasy 13 ruined it for me. I'm happy Final Fantasy 13 ruined it for me for Final Fantasy.
Oh,
I think there's some punctuations in there that I'm missing. But yeah, everybody has a downer. There are some Final Fantasies that I think are lame, but overall, as a series, I love it.
He's an
Let's see.
old man. You're gonna have to forgive him for his run-on sentences.
Yeah. Let's see. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. And we're all caught up on the chat. All right. So, they're going to bring Final Fantasy 16, hopefully, to Xbox. Hopefully, this is not a rumor that takes 10 years to make, but hopefully soon. But I mean, yeah. This is from Eurogamer. They said Square Enix sales drop year on year despite release of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, but still turns a profit following restructure, aka layoffs. We know what that means, layoffs, right? Let's see. So even though they had a high-profile release last year, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Square Enix still had a downturn. According to its latest earnings reports, the company's overall net sales dropped by 18.4% year-to-year for the recent quarter. They didn't release as many new games. This is driven part to a decline in new games. By comparison, same quarter in 2023, we saw the release of Final Fantasy XVI and the Final Fantasy Pixel Remasters, both of them excluded from Xbox. However, the company still turned profits with its games this year on lower development costs, amortization, and advertisements. What's more, its MMO sub-segment saw a rise in sales and profits compared to last year. This last quarter does not include the July release of Final Fantasy XIV expansion, Dawn Trail. Mobile games is down. Overall, continued all this crap, right? So you can see that Square Enix is probably saying, all right, you know what? It's been several releases between. We're going to bring that Final Fantasy over. But if they want to stop this bleeding, and I hate to say it, but Square has been bleeding for a while, they need to bring their stuff over to Xbox. If they're going to stay third party or just get bought out by Sony, who basically owns them anyway at this point.
And then get shut down quietly.
Yeah, at this point. I mean, let's be honest. Sony basically owns Square Enix. Every game that Square puts out is owned by Sony. Just saying. I'm just stating facts here. Right? So, yeah. So, there you go. Hopefully, Final Fantasy 16, the rumor is true. We'll get this banger on Xbox and more people can experience it. But let's see who all is excited on it. Dread, we had a poll. Can you read the results?
We had a poll. The results are...
No, read the poll and then read the results.
I know. I was going to say, but first, I got to read the question.
Yes, read the question. Yeah.
So, hold your horses, Axel.
With punctuation.
Hold your horses.
Brazilian pork chop chop. Come on, hurry up.
Right. Are you going to play Final Fantasy 16 on Xbox? Question mark. Big. We should do it this way so you guys can see. Question mark. Well, there was 2 sets of no's, 2 sets of yeses. Both sets of no's combined kill off the no's. Or I'm sorry, both no's combined kill off the yeses. So here we go. Here's 12% said yes, I'd play it again. That's a small fraction.
Mm-hmm.
Small fraction. You
those
want
are the double dippers. Yep.
Almost as small of a fraction. I've been waiting for it. Was another
those
yes.
are the double dippers.
18%.
The people that played it on PS5 and are going to play it again on Xbox.
Yeah. Okay. And then no, I played it on PS5. They all sound like they're all part of the same group, if you think about it.
No.
And then the number one answer, which is no, hard pass on Final Fantasy 16, and I can't show the fingers. But yeah, 43% said
like that.
to you.
They just did the Friends thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And of course, 18% said yes, I've been waiting for it. So about 25% of gamers are going to buy it on Xbox. And this is what I mean, right? You launch a game late, you're going to get partial interest on it. So, yeah. So let's just pretend, of the 50% of the roughly 50% of gamers who voted have played it already, 12% are going to play it for the first time. So,
But
yeah.
Look at it this way, right? Those that have played it on PlayStation, right? So you got, no, I've played it on PS5, and yes, I'll play it again. That's 37%. 37%. And then you still have another 43% that said, I will not play it because it went to PlayStation and not where I wanted it. And then you have an 18% that would still wait to play it on Xbox.
Right.
So think about that.
Yeah,
You
but
know, think about
that's
those
like
numbers.
contradicting. But that's like
And
contradicting
that's
because Kenna was on PlayStation and people are playing it happily on Xbox right now.
right. But again, that was a new IP. This is an existing IP that's been everywhere.
Yeah.
So there's that fault that, if you
Mm.
depending on how what lenses you look at, yes, you're right with Kenna, but when you look at it this way, it shows you that there's a bigger demand of people wanting to play this that have a legacy.
Hmm.
So it
Hmm.
is one of those things. So
Right.
you know what I'm saying. So you got to look at it, and when you say that I've been waiting 18%. So that is your demographic out of 16 votes here, right? So you
Yeah.
increase those numbers and it'll fluctuate a little bit. So let's just say 20% of the people that would have bought it are buying it now, years later, right? Out of 100% that would have bought it day one on either platform. So you lost out on people, and you only had what I say 37% buying it and playing it on I'm sorry, PlayStation 5. With of those, 12% said that they would play it again on another platform.
There
So
you
even
go.
then, if you combine the two yeses, you're looking at 30% buying it and playing it on Xbox. That's
Hmm.
still a small number. You want more than 50% of people saying that they want to play this.
Right. And there you go, guys. Statistical review by Dreadpool. Awesome, awesome. But no, I think you're absolutely right. And yeah, that backs up your whole point of the people who wanted to play it already played it. So the sales, of course, aren't going to meet expectations on Xbox when this gets ported over. And again, supported by the numbers here on Good Morning Xbox. Let's check it with the chat. Sir X-Men says, hit that like and share, everybody. Let's go. I did. Your turn. Yeah, absolutely. The game complainer says that Capcom might be following Square. I don't know, man. Monster Hunter still coming to Xbox. Love that Monster Hunter. Shout out to Master BKB Lubu. Says Dreadpool is alive. By the way, is that Lubu from like the
Breakfast with Boom.
yeah, Breakfast with Boom. But the Lubu from the Dynasty Warriors series, just
Oh,
let me know.
oh.
Just let me know. Yeah. Fastback says Final Fantasy nada for me. And let's see. Gogo Paul says I'm more pissed that Spider-Man being an exclusive game. That's still BS to me, but oh well. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I agree with game complaints. All third-party games should be on all platforms. Period. Absolutely. Period. Sexman says that's why Persona is kicking Final Fantasies, but because it's a good game and it's everywhere. It's in more places, yeah. Now
Well,
it's everywhere,
it
but
took a while. It did
it
took a
took
while.
years. It took like a decade to come to Xbox. So yeah,
Right.
yeah. Let's see, and we're all caught up. All right, let's move on with the show. So I don't know if you guys know who. And oh, okay. So he says Lubu, yes, from Dynasty Warriors. Yeah. Okay, so I got it. Yes. So Lubu's been kicking my butt for 20 years, man. But I always find a way to beat him. Let's see. So I don't know if you guys know who this guy is, Shinobi 602, but he was having a conversation with some people on again Reset Era, and Louis said, "I wonder when the next round of ported games are coming." And Shinobi said this. He said, "What are you doing next week? The week." So he said that this week. So next week he's talking about Gamescom week, right? And then he also put out here. He said, "Oop, I'm gonna guess Killer Instinct is one of them, assuming it's multiple." And Shinobi responds, "I don't know about multiple, but a big one at least." And Shinobi is one of those guys that you can absolutely trust, guys. You can trust. Well, building on top of this, a friend of Shaddai. Let me zoom this in so all my stuff goes away. There we go. Friend of Shaddai posted this, right? Somebody said, Shinobi says big Xbox games coming to PlayStation next week, and Xtasis, who has been right on several leaks, he puts Feliz Cinco de Mayo randomly in the middle of August, right? And I think he was inferring to, let me get to it. Here we go. The Forza Horizon 5 Series 7 update. Forza Horizon 5 Series 7 invites you to celebrate Cinco de Mayo, an annual celebration of Mexico's culture and cuisine. So, you put that in there. Everybody just tying all the knots. They're assuming that it's going to be that the leak that Shinobi's talking about here is Forza Horizon 5. Now, I found this out watching Game Complainers because I was playing games. I wasn't watching the news. So I reacted to it super late. And I had my meltdown. I'm back together. Okay. Yeah, I had my meltdown because if it's Forza Horizon, I'm
You
I've
don't want to
always
run
said,
into that rock on PS5?
I've always said that all games are coming to PlayStation as, it's just the way every report reports it that way too. That every game is going to come. That's what Amy Hood is pushing for. That's what Satya is pushing for. All that good stuff. So every game's coming to PS5, and a lot of people are like, oh, well, why would you care that a game's going to PS5? Blah, blah, blah. And it's about, again, and I've said this very vocally here, that it's about the brand. If there's nothing that makes your brand unique, why does your brand exist? And on the chat, live here on the show, we voted and everybody is okay with Game Pass being the exclusive, but Game Pass, to me, is better on PC now because it's a better price for the same thing. Throwing it out there. The console gamer, I understand that the console gamer in the world of 3 billion gamers is like 1% of the gamer. But I really think that console gamers are the warriors of your brand. They're the word of mouth of your brand. And if you damage that, the word of mouth of your brand just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. So, that I understand that Xbox is eventually going to do this all the way, but I've always said that it's bad for the brand. It's bad for the brand, just flat out. There's nothing you can tell me that's good for the brand. Oh, monthly active users. Okay, that's going to decline over years. Like, you're putting a Band-Aid on something instead of addressing the issue, Xbox, when it comes to this. The console gamers need exclusives to be console gamers. It's the way the console market is. Whether you like it or not, that's the way the console market is. And of course, we were just talking about Final Fantasy being an exclusive to this console, and guess what? It worked. It made me buy one. If there are no exclusives to this that are worthwhile to Xbox, then who's going to buy an Xbox? Only the console enthusiast, I guess. But not anymore. Not any new gamers. Your brand is just going to shrink and shrink and shrink. Your brand power, in my opinion, as well, because this has your storefront on it. And without that storefront, there goes all your profits. Just saying. There goes 70% of your profits. Just saying. And I mean, so many games are skipping Xbox already. The fact that you're not giving people reason to stay on to get that console is sad. So, to me, this is a bad move. I understand that I might be in the minority of people that think this is a bad move. Do I care that other people play Forza Horizon? Of course not. I care about the brand, though. The fact that if someone really, 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 really wanted to play Forza, now they don't have to get an Xbox. They can just play it anywhere. And that sounds like me being a jerk. Just being honest. It sounds like me being a jerk, but it's also what's going to sell this box. So yeah, and I posted a reaction to this on Twitter saying that, Xbox is now more about monthly active users instead of they don't care about console sales. They care about how many monthly active users, PC monthly active users they get, more than they care about console monthly active users. And it's been proven this whole generation. Another example, when games released on the Xbox, they released on PC at the same time. But PC games were released on PC for a year or two before they came to the Xbox. Even Xbox was ignoring the console. I mean, PC gets better prices on Game Pass. That's again the console gamer just being shafted. Um, it's just an ongoing thing with Xbox that they keep hating on the console gamer. And as a console gamer, primarily console gamer, that makes me sad. And it's okay if you don't want me to be a console gamer. I guess I'll do what you want. I can't go against it. I'm just a guy. But this is just bad. This is just bad. Hopefully, it's not Forza Horizon. But if it is, I'm not going to be surprised because I've always said it's going to be all of them. I just kind of thought it was going to be more time.
So,
And by the way, this will mean that Xbox has released more games on PlayStation this year than they released on Xbox. Just throwing it out there.
so now here's a question for you, right,
Yeah.
Mr. Hardcore Xbox enthusiast? Um, would it be okay if Xbox pulled a Square Enix?
For
I'm
No.
just saying,
No,
if they
you're talking
released all their
about
games,
bring the games to Xbox first, then PlayStation later.
yeah,
No, because if I know that every Xbox game will eventually make it to PlayStation, I'm still not buying an Xbox. Just putting it out there. Like,
no, but that's kind of my point. Is it doesn't make sense to do that. I
yeah,
understand it makes sense for certain games. Let's say every Activision game because they're already technically third party, um, unless it's a new IP or you know what I mean. So the old stuff I could see throwing out there. I but again, I think you have to nitpick on which ones go where.
hmm,
And as long as you have, this is if I was running the company, which I'm not, okay? But if I was running the company, the way I look at it is I want the brand to be everywhere. However, for the brand to exist, you kind of need the console to be the push, right? That was the whole thing is the consoles were
yeah,
supposed to be
the focal point.
the proof of concept of all
Hmm.
of this. The console was supposed to be the top tier of your bare minimum. This is where it's going to be best. This is where it's going to look great. This is how it's going to play. Everything,
That's
right?
also not true. Everything's been looking better on PS5.
I know, but that's my point. If it was me, this is how I would do it. Granted, I'm not, but I'm just saying. This is stuff that I don't see that Xbox is understanding, and that's
Hmm.
why I'm trying to be articulating with how I disagree with what they're doing, right? You want to be respectful with your disagreements and get your articulation out there of what you're thinking and what you're preferring, because
Hmm.
otherwise, if you're like, yeah, this is crap, no one's gonna listen. Why
You
is
know,
it?
the whole reason Xbox existed was to have so Microsoft would have a presence in the living room,
Yeah,
right? And this whole devaluing aiding the console goes against the whole reason why Xbox was even created. I because if you remember during the Xbox On documentary, they talked about that whole do you want Sony to rule the living room, and that's why Xbox got funded. And it seems like now they just are like, who cares about the living room?
yeah. Well, it's also not Bill Gates. You know,
Yeah, or
Again,
Steve Ballmer.
if you think about it,
Yeah.
Windows is everywhere. Windows is not assigned to any platform because it's just PC. It plays
Hmm.
on any PC, and that's what they're trying to do with Xbox. They're trying to make Xbox into another Windows setup
Mm.
where right now Xbox is controlled by them, but the Xbox ecosystem is anywhere via
Hmm.
the cloud, via PC, via the console, via
Right.
the games, right? So, but again, certain staples, you can't lose that from the console because otherwise it loses its identity. Because then you might as well just be a Windows game company, and that's it.
Yeah.
And that's
Microsoft,
the point we're
get rid of
trying to
Xbox, bring
explain,
back Microsoft Gaming.
right? So, and that's the point that a lot of us are trying to make is we don't want Windows gaming. We want Xbox. We like the brand. We like the community
Hmm.
that has developed under Xbox separate from Windows. Even
Mm-hmm.
though they're technically one and the same, they're not. There's a vast difference between the two. Even though the Windows kernel was supposed to be there, and they stripped it out, unbeknownst to Bill Gates, to achieve these issues, because otherwise we'd have
Yeah.
to have more powerful consoles that couldn't do half of what they can do. And right now, Unreal Engine is really showing you that Xbox can't do it because it's not optimized for Xbox. Oh wait, who invested in Epic Games? Oh, that's right, Sony invested in Epic Games. So why do you think that is, that they're
Mm-hmm.
better on PlayStation than they are for Xbox? So you're going to see many more games that way, and it's unfortunate. But this is why we have to speak up and explain. We want to keep, you know, we're going to call it our games. Granted, it's not,
Yeah.
but it's our games. It's our platform, and this is where we want to keep the staple stuff, right? Sony had a mascot unofficially. So if unofficially Crash was Sony's mascot,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
where is he now? Is he still Sony's mascot? No,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
he hasn't been Sony's mascot for
Yeah.
a long time. But
This
who's
guy may not be considered Xbox's mascot much longer if he goes over there.
right? And that's the problem, is those main games are locked in, and if you lose that, you lose that part of it. And I understand, again, you want to be everywhere. I want to sell. If I was making a game, I want it to be everywhere. I want everybody to have access to it. But there's that balance that you have to figure out, what goes everywhere and what kind of stays here to solidify the name of the ecosystem to be what it is. And if
Yeah.
without Master Chief, then you lose it. Without Gears, without Forza, you lose these things. We've had so many other games that they haven't done anything with, that help solidify what Xbox is, and people have forgotten about it because they haven't made any more games about them.
You know.
Back in the day, we were talking about Brute Force. We were talking about um,
Mega
Blood
Salt.
Wake and Mech
Yeah.
Assault, and all these different ones that in those days were part of the name of the brand. Today we're not. We have nothing because we're still with the trilogy, the trio of
Halo,
Gears,
Gears, Forza.
Forza, yeah, Halo,
And
Gears, Forza,
Fable. Remember, Fable was already a staple before.
Halo was
and
a
Fable, yeah,
yeah.
another
Fable
one.
was yeah.
Fable was a
Yeah.
staple.
Same thing. Perfect Dark became a staple,
Mm-hmm.
but again,
Yeah.
some of these games, those last two games are coming back at some point in time, but I don't think they're going to be exclusive, because I think they're going to try to reach a bigger audience. And again, I have no issues with older games that have reached their run to go elsewhere. But there's that thing, they've reached the run that they're not making any more money no matter what you do, whether it's in Game Pass, whether actual sales. And if you're looking at a purchase here and there, out of a month, a
Mm-hmm.
couple purchases, then you lose that. So if open it up, then make some more money, and again, help push that over. But other than that, keep it locked down as much as possible. But again, you want your games to be everywhere. You want everybody to play it. You want that everybody to know who it is. You don't want to go on um what is it Fortnite and be like, oh, here's this guy with the green helmet. Look at this. He's over here now too. He has his own game. It's that Ozzy Osbourne, Post Malone crap that nobody knew who Ozzy was. It's like you grew up with the Osbournes. If you didn't know who the band was, and Ozzy having his own
Mm-hmm.
band after the fact of Black Sabbath, and you know nothing about music, but he was on the Osbournes, and you can't even relate that two and two are together. But Post Malone has him on, and all of a sudden Post Malone gave this old man a chance. There's the mentality there, that I'm
Yeah.
saying, that there's a
That's because
division
they're
and a
not giving them
cutoff that
the
people don't
opportunity.
see, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that can happen also with
Mhm.
Xbox, that they
Yeah.
forget that
The
physically
identity. They got
Halo
to
is
protect
Master
the
Chief,
brand. They got to protect the identity. It's
right?
not just about monthly active users.
But remember that
I mean,
metric.
monthly active users are very important, but you have to protect the brand. Like
Yeah, but
why are people going to be interested in your brand over anything else?
that
I,
monthly active users is only, if you look at it, is just pure multiplayer.
it is,
No,
but
that's what I'm
that's
saying.
what
It's
they
like,
care about. Should
yeah,
I
but
tell us how you feel about this transition?
no,
If
I'm
this rumor is true from Ecstasis, who you're friends with,
ecstasies.
Ecstasy, sorry,
Yeah. No, how do I feel about this?
yeah,
It's like, a post that you put on Twitter, and the first thing that I posted to you was, is because of this, because Satya said, I don't know why there's exclusivity. Sony is the one who created this. I'm
hmm
like, Sony created this, and he is against exclusivity. So now we see, and we already know, this is Satya's ship right now. We want to see the outcome for what we bought for Activision. We spend this much, we want to gain back. But how are you going to gain back if you are not protecting your brand?
yeah. That
So
that
you're not.
70% has to come for something that they make
They
off
have
this
to come from
box.
something. They're not going to
Yeah,
come from Surface. So
it's not going to come from Surface.
yeah,
You're
they're not
right.
going to come from Surface.
It's not going to
So
come from the Windows stores.
right, right. So what you're doing, for my opinion, is like, yes, is this you want your games to sell, but you have to understand that that game is made for Xbox, so Xbox could sell.
hmm
So that means you have to do whatever you can to pretty much market, and whatever you do to sell your consoles. If you are like, we all feel some type of way that there is the second child or the stepchild, you're not gonna see that. This game is something that you want to keep it on your system, so you could gain that money back somehow. It's not bad to, it's okay. That's why you created this Xbox Game Pass situation, so it could be everywhere. It's just an app.
hmm
It's just an app. You could remove it whenever you feel like it. That's,
hmm
you're gonna gain it like that no matter what. I don't know what they are afraid of. Is you just created an app, but this is something that it should have been kept in the console for people that are interested on the console. Even, I think, I can't remember if we talked about this. Even if they create it as a special edition console, which we were talking about Final Fantasy, that could have been sold more consoles to people.
hmm
Collection, for people that like to collect it or whatever, or people that they don't like to collect it. But it could have been, that's a sell. No matter how you look at it, it's a sell.
hmm
So I feel some type of way about this being in another platform, knowing that we already saw that out of the four, only one is successful, which is Sea of Thieves. Hi-Fi Rush didn't sell that much. So imagine this game.
This one will sell. I mean, let's be
Well,
honest
yeah.
here.
Well,
If
yeah,
this goes over to
it's
PS5,
gonna be Gran Turismo. No matter how you look
this
at it, it's
will
gonna be.
outsell Gran Turismo hands down because this is a way better racer than Gran
Well,
Turismo.
that's what I'm saying, because look, even they
Yeah.
already put it side by side, the Horizon and Forza Motorsport. If you want
hmm
to, if you release Forza Horizon 7 or whatever it is, and Motorsport 2, which one is going to sell more as a racing? I don't care if it's arcade or not. Is Horizon is going to sell more than Motorsports
Yeah.
if you want to release it side by side. So this
Okay,
is
you know
something.
what?
Go ahead.
I like what you said there, and I've said this before too, right? Right now, what's the key game, the newest game, right? Forza Horizon 5,
Right.
hmm
right? So why not? Okay, it's out there, it's on Xbox. Why not allow 4 to be out, right? That's the key thing. You let go of the old games that you've moved on from, and then you can say, hey, look, you want to play the newer version? Here it is. You have 5, and then when Forza Horizon 6 comes out, you have 4. But if you come over here to Xbox, you can have 5 and 6. You know what I'm saying? Part of, that's kind of part of the thing of hey, if you want the newer stuff that's just coming out, the fresh hot stuff, right? Fresh hot bread, or do you want the stale bread that's in the bag? You want the fresh bread that just came out of the oven, or do you want the old stuff? So it's kind
Everybody
of that,
wants the new hotness. Let's just be
right.
real. Yeah.
But if you get them indoctrinated to the old stuff, you can move them over because, hey, this is the only place I can play the newer one.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks fresher, it looks cleaner, it looks sharper. Look at when they presented 5. Was it? No, it was 4. When they presented 4, and everybody was like, that's not real. That's not real.
Oh yeah. No,
Yeah.
actually, that was 5
That
because
was
of
that
the
was 5. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, it was
that was
5.
5
That
Yeah.
was 5.
because of the puddle. I think it was the
Right,
puddle or something.
because they're running in the canyon.
Yep.
Yeah, that was 5.
Yeah.
4
Yeah.
was in
No,
England.
fantastic point.
But
Yeah.
yeah, but
I
I
would
said
be
that back then.
more open to that situation you just said right there, Dredd. Yeah, absolutely. Let me catch up with the chat, guys. Everybody's into this conversation right now. Let's see. I'm not going to read everything because I'm going to try to catch everything up, okay? So the game complainer says Shinobi is Dennis Knight, the actor. Okay, let's see. Doggy Dog says there's absolutely no chance Forza Horizon 5 coming to PS5. Let's see. There won't be any game announcement for PS5 at Gamescom, and the insiders will be wrong yet again. I hope you're right, Doggy Dog. I hope you're right. I'm Team Doggy on this one. I think it'll take away all the hype for every other announcement at Gamescom if they announce this. Because this will be the most drama-inducing announcement, and everything else will just go away. Just being honest. I think you're right. Fastback says, in my opinion, nothing wrong to have first party go to another platform console after a couple of years. More legs, more money for future first party game pass first.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, it's hard for me to say that to do exclusives because I do want every game on every platform, but there has to be reason for your platform to exist. Just being honest,
Yeah.
Like there's a reason why people buy the TVs they buy because they have good experiences with them. They believe in their quality, stuff like that, right? Or because, it's the cheapest thing they could buy. Whatever the reason is, they bought it, right? Things need reasons to exist in our capitalist society, right? Let's see. There's a listing for Forza Horizon 5 on PS5 and PS4 and Amazon for September. I saw that. Shout out to Google Poll. Thank you so much for being here. You are the real MVP. He says, I would wait until it's confirmed that Forza Horizon 5 is on PS5. Lots of rumors. Yeah, absolutely. I'm just going to say Lubu. Lubu says, I don't like the idea of Halo, Gears of War, or Forza on any other console than Xbox. They are the identity of Xbox. Absolutely agree to that. Yeah. Xbox brand is an ecosystem on multiple devices, software sales over hardware sales. Yeah, I agree to that. And, software subsidizes the hardware. It always has. But if there's no software that's going to subsidize this hardware, that Xbox, what's the point? Why does the sooner or later that hardware is going to stop existing? Just
you got to find that
there.
balance. You got to find
it has
that
to
balance.
Be a balance. Lots of games. It reminds me of the Sega Saturn era. Lots of games skipped the Sega Saturn, and the Sega Saturn had a lot of first party bangers, but nobody cared because third party was skipping them. And then, the Sega Dreamcast came out with fantastic support, and 2 years later, because they didn't have enough support, it died. Not enough software sales to subsidize the hardware. It just happens. Nintendo, they've been able to weather some heavy storms, but they've also known that, hey, you know what? If third party's not going to sell our hardware, we got to really knock it out of the park with our software, and they take care of their IPs like no one else. Everybody should learn how to take care of their IPs like Nintendo. Let's see. Google Post says, why would they hate the console gamer? That's total BS. It's just reality. They have to pivot in a market where they don't sell as much as PlayStation. Why not? Why aren't they selling? I just kind of said the point with Nintendo, right? Why aren't they selling? And I agree with Dreadpool. If they got Forza Horizon 4 when we got 5, hey, I'm cool with that. If they get 5 when we get 6, okay, I'm cool with that. But to get the latest and greatest, no. Just play now, no.
Yeah, further down, Happy has a good point about that too.
Yeah, well, we'll
get
catch
there.
Up. Let's see. The Doggy brings up a good point. He says, "Why would Xbox put a game on another console that they're going to delist in 2 years? That'll make people happy." LOL.
Yep.
Yeah. Forza Horizon does get delisted due to licensing. Yeah, agree. Stevie Mac says, "Hello, my fellow MVPs. Hey, thank you so much for being here, Stevie Mac. You are the real MVP." I like that. Hello, my fellow MVPs. Yeah, I might have to steal that from here on out. Thank you so much. Let's see. Fastback says, "I prefer gaming on Xbox console. Not bothered by this. Yes, I would be sad if Xbox stops making consoles, but I will adjust because I love playing games since Pong." Yeah, at the end of the day, while Xbox is my preferred platform, I am a gamer first and foremost, and I will play where the games are. And if the games are on PlayStation, then guess what? That's where I'm going to play. Just throwing it out there, But I'll probably play on this PC way more than anywhere else. I've always been a PC gamer, so yeah. Let's see. Happy Cloud Gamer. He says, "I think Xbox has lost the console competition, and Xbox has great supporters like us. But most mainstream gamers is so much more people, and they buy a Nintendo and PlayStation." This is something that Phil Spencer has said, that they lost the console war. Basically, he admitted to it. Yeah. Let's see. Let's see. Google Poll says 30 million consoles sold is big enough to still matter. They're estimated to sell around 60 to 70 this gen. We'll see if they get there. As sales slow down, they're halfway there now. When we're over halfway done with the generation, I don't know if they can keep up that pace. I'm gonna guess, if anything, they'll sell 50 if they get to it. And if I'm totally wrong, then I'm wrong, and I hope I am wrong. But I just don't see them hitting 70 at all. 60, maybe. 50, probably. Probably most likely. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. This is why Xbox will win the competition in Xbox Game Pass. True, whatever you want to play. Console is not the main focus. We older people are not not console gamers. Okay.
All right. I got something for you. Come here, Tiny Giant.
Oh.
Come here.
Okay.
Would you rather play on the Xbox console, on the PlayStation console, or the PC, or your Switch? You'd rather play on your Switch? Why?
Because it's portable.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's portable.
Would you rather play on your phone or your Switch, or the Xbox console? We can't have silence. You got to think about this fast.
You guys broke her. Good job.
You guys broke her.
So
I don't know. It seems to me that he got the belt. I'm like, you better say this.
see, okay, well there you go. Why can't I have all three?
There you go.
Yeah. Again, we are not the demographic, but this is the next future demographic.
The demographic right there just didn't pick Xbox. Yeah. Let's see. Fastback says, "Microsoft is not giving up on Xbox console. It will evolve with cloud, all digital gaming with some form. I'm going to say, assume that means form. Some form of hardware." Yeah. Google Poll. PS5 isn't better hardware. They are just more popular in our target, but that's changed because PS5 doesn't sell enough software. I agree with you that I don't think the PS5 is the better hardware, but software makes or breaks a console. This has been true through the existence of all consoles. Software makes or breaks it, regardless of how good or bad it is. Nintendo Switch, being the number one console this generation, is the weakest console, but the strongest seller.
Mm-hmm.
It might be the best-selling console of all time here soon.
In less than 1 million, they're very close.
Yeah. Let's see. Who cares what games are going? It's entertainment. Put it on everything. You will win. And Microsoft can do what Nintendo and PlayStation can afford. Microsoft can do what Nintendo and PlayStation cannot afford. Consoles will be an option, but not main focus.
But that's their division.
And that's my problem, right? I agree with you. Xbox can do what they can't. Sega does what Nintendo.
I figure you're gonna say that.
Yeah, but they can't ignore the console. They have to make you feel like you matter as as a console gamer, right? And again, releasing stuff on PC first doesn't make you feel like you matter, right? Not having exclusives doesn't make you feel like you matter. Just pointing it out, just pointing out stuff, right? Google Poll thinks we're too much into the competition narratives. No, I would say not. I'm more into my own thing, and I've always been like this. And like I said, I believe that all games are eventually going to go to everywhere, including PlayStation. I have said this since day one. Dreadpool, back me up here.
Yes, you
I've said it
have.
since day
And
one.
you've been arguing against it
Since
since
day,
day
I
one.
know that it's happening, and I'm still against it.
Yeah.
I acknowledge, yes, it is happening, and I'm still against it. I accept the reality, and I'm going down scratching, clawing at the walls. Let's see. Fastback says Axel has an axe in his name because of God of War. Kratos, he's a PlayStation player in Xbox clothing. Wow. Oh man. Let's see. Game Complainer says this is why I listen to this podcast. They always keep it real on the panel. Google Poll says I agree about the brand, but they still have to be able to move software and sell it too. Absolutely, they should, and they should be targeting to sell as much software as possible.
You mean hardware? Without hardware, software is not going to work.
Yeah, without hardware, like I said, software subsidizes the hardware.
True.
But the hardware still has to be good enough to buy.
Yep, I agree.
Just it.
I agree.
Yeah. Fastback says, how many active users are on Game Pass compared to PS Plus? Are we counting PC or not?
Well,
because if we're counting PC, then lots more Game Pass. If we're not, then I guarantee you PS Plus has more. Just throwing it out there, guys. Right? Let's see. Let's see. Sorry, guys. I just got to start getting a little more picky. Let's see. Google Poll says, I don't think Forza Horizon 5 should go to PS5. It's already old, and people who wanted to play it bought an Xbox or have a PC. Forza, Halo, Gears, and a few others should remain exclusive, in my opinion. I think Sea of Thieves proves that wrong, because Sea of Thieves was on Xbox and PC and mobile, and it still was the number one selling game for like 2 months on PlayStation.
Yes, but that's totally different. That's a multiplayer game. It's a games as a service game. Again, that's different.
Yeah, but all those people that bought it on PlayStation could have bought it anywhere else or played it anywhere else, and they waited until when it came to PlayStation. And again, Sea of Thieves is a huge success story, and I had the same meltdown when Sea of Thieves went over. Go back and watch the episodes. I had almost the exact same meltdown.
Right, but
actually probably worse.
Games as service games require players.
Yeah,
so it always requires. Look at Destiny. Destiny's the same thing, right? So again, you need to have content constantly, but you also have to have players. If you don't have the players there coming in to purchase this added content or some sort of subsidization for the content to be there, you're not going to have the game any longer. So certain things, I'm not trying to justify it. I'm just trying to open
to categorize
the eyes of why certain things. Okay, now I'm not trying to justify it, but
he's trying to put it in a box and then put a key on that box and throw the key away.
It just
I'm opening the box. I'm not closing the box like you are.
He's taking a peek.
But again, look at what's going on with Destiny. It's open to almost everybody, and yet it's failing right now.
Yeah,
the content's not there.
It's a tough market. Let me catch up. Shout out to Lubu. He's gonna head off to work. Have a good day at work, sir. Thank you so much for being here while you could. Let's see. Google Poll. Console's biggest market is still America. It's like half the console market share, and Xbox and PlayStation are nearly equal in the US. Xbox not far behind PlayStation. Yeah, that's true. Let's see. Let's see. Game Complainer says they always do a Forza announcement at Gamescom. Just saying, really? Huh. Interesting. I did not know that. Let's see. Doggy Dog always brings this up. He says, let's be real. These rumors always start up a week before an Xbox show. Where's Halo CE on PS5? That was such a joke rumor. Yeah. Yeah,
I don't see it
absolutely.
ever going over.
Me
I can
either.
see the multiplayer going over, but I don't see Halo itself going over.
Yeah.
My beautiful wife, shout out to her. She's the real MVP of my life. She says, "But you guys happy when PlayStation games go to Xbox?" Nonsense. No PlayStation game has come over to Xbox. Just putting it out there. The only PlayStation game that's come over to Xbox, it was MLB The Show, and it was
Yep.
because it was required by the MLB.
Right.
And at that, it wasn't even published on Xbox by PlayStation. It was published by MLB.
And the best game ever played on the Xbox, which it was #1 for so long.
And Game Pass.
And multiplayer.
Anyways,
So yeah, that
yeah, but no
MLB doesn't
PlayStation
count.
first party. You know, MLB came because it has a licensing agreement,
Mhm.
but through MLB, obviously. But the no PlayStation first party IP has come over to Xbox. Not even
Technically,
the Halo Horizon.
technically they have. Technically, if you want to split hairs, they have. But they haven't
I
come to
swear to God, if you
Xbox.
say
They've come to
Destiny,
Windows.
I'm
Let
gonna
me say
totally just throw
Crash.
you in a lockbox and throw you away.
Are you
They've
using
come.
Crash?
They've come to Windows via
That
PC.
doesn't count. That doesn't count. Get out of here.
Okay.
Throw
Wow.
Dreamcast
I
and
wasn't
throw you
expecting
away.
Like I
that.
said, we're splitting hairs here, like
Yeah,
like 3 blades of grass versus 2 blades
I
of
can't
grass. I
believe
mean,
you
come on
yeah,
now.
yeah. No. Hard no. Let me see. Just catching up to the rest of the chat. Let's see. Da, 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 da.
Damn it, Dread.
Let's see. I'm just throwing it out here. Let's see. Consoles in the past were all exclusive, and that still did not move the majority of PC gamers to console, no matter how popular a game was. Makes more sense to go where gamers prefer. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
That's
I
like
agree
Steam.
with that strategy, and I'm a huge fan of Xbox releasing games on PC as a PC gamer.
Well, look
But
at Halo. Halo went to Steam.
yeah, Halo Combat Evolved was on PC. I have it. Doesn't work anymore, but I have it. Yeah. Let's see. Batman 2, thank you so much for being here. You are the real MVP. So yeah, should I? Sorry, I cut you off. Anything else on this rumor leak that seems to have everybody on different sides of the fence? Me on one side, I feel like I'm alone on my side of the fence, but it's okay.
That's okay.
I will die on this hill.
You just keep running into that virtual rock.
Hey, you know what? I'll bring this up.
Bring it up.
I think it's not going to be Forza Horizon. I think Microsoft is helping Sony because Concord fell. I wouldn't be surprised for Bleeding Edge going over there to help them out.
Oh, Bleeding Edge. Oh, man. And like I said, this is all eventually going to happen. I was in no denial. I just thought that, Halo Gears Forza would be the last ones to go, not amongst the first. Just throwing it out there.
Yeah.
So I was caught off guard.
I don't see it, but there's a possibility of certain things.
The way Satya's Xbox is very different from Bill Gates and Steve Ballmer's Xbox.
But remember, he came from the cloud department, and he does not play games, and so that means he doesn't know anything. He just putting in everything that is cloud, his expertise, which is cloud. So that's what he's doing.
Yeah, and again, there's lots of reasons why I still love Xbox. Access to my games anywhere, everywhere, buy one, kind of stuff. I love all that. But it's I worry for the brand, especially because they're gonna lose. If they want to expand the brand to be more than a console, you can't start ignoring console to expand.
Mm-hmm.
Just throwing that out there, right? You can't ignore what sells consoles.
Yep.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, guys. All right, let's see. Yeah. Fastback says, Access sounds like PlayStation should start going day one on PC and start counting PC PS Plus subscription. Absolutely, they should. I'll tell you what, if PS Plus was a thing I could get on my PC, I wouldn't have bought this. I'd be a PC PlayStation gamer. Just throwing it out there because I'm always going to buy this PC.
PC.
Always.
Pure crap. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Absolutely. You got me right there, Fastback. You read me like a book. Shout out to Dan, the man Cunningham. Thank you so much for being here. You are the real MVP. He says, hey, y'all. How's everybody doing today? we're into it, man. We're fisticuffing over here. At least, and we're not really fisticuffing, but we're talking about a very heated topic right now. And again, like I don't. I sound like a jerk when I say like, oh, I don't want PlayStation gamers to play Forza Horizon. They shouldn't experience this greatness. That's not the point of it. The point is that of what sells consoles, and I hate to say this, but exclusive sell consoles.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm saying, right? So yeah. All right, let's move it along. I think I've talked this topic to death. Fastback. Xbox is not ignoring consoles. More gaming, less worrying. Oh yeah. Then tell me why did games launch on PC first before console? Then Fastback. Why is that? What does that happen? Why are the versions of games on Steam ahead of the versions of games on console? Huh? What's going on there? What's going on there? Throwing it out there. Just throwing it out there. Well, why is Game Pass on PC like $8 cheaper on PC than it is on console? Just asking.
They should have been the same amount for consoles too.
Just saying.
It's the same amount if you have Ultimate.
It's the same amount of what?
PC's the same amount if you have Ultimate.
It is.
Yeah, because you get to play on PC and you get to play on consoles.
Yeah.
So no matter which side you're on, you could be a PC gamer getting Ultimate and still getting console extras.
Yeah.
Yeah,
look, I'm just always going to call it out when Xbox is not being equal. That's all I'm saying. Right? That's all I'm saying. Let's see. Happy Cloud Gamer says, just to put it out there, I think he means I love my console, but I'm looking from a corporate side, and they need to make money, and to have the console exclusive has not been working for Xbox after the 360.
I don't know about that.
That's more marketing didn't work for them. When you decide to market TV instead of games, well, what do you think was going to happen to your console?
I think that that doesn't mean anything. Yeah. As long as you put multiplayer games all platforms and exclusivity where it belongs to a single console, you're still gonna make money. I don't know.
Yeah. I think
Go pull. He's like, where? Phil Spencer hates console owners.
I think they all need to go back to experimentation and trying different things. Bring back Connect. If we can bring back Connect, that would be again a game changer. But again, that's just my opinion.
Actually, I give you a great opinion, and I know they'll bring a lot of Xbox owners back or whatever. Bring that snap. We could play and watch TV.
I love the snap feature back in the day.
Bring that back, and you'll see a lot of people being.
It's funny. Everybody said that they used it. I tried using it a couple times.
Every time I turned on my Xbox, I used Snap.
I found it distracting. It was in my
Snap
view
was amazing.
of the game.
Okay, so you get distracted. Have you ever played any game while listening to the music? I'm not talking about the game like Ozzy Osbourne or whatever.
I would watch YouTube or what was it? Netflix on Snap while I was playing a game.
Yeah, because I play games and sometimes I want to listen to music, so I'm doing both.
I'd rather have it off my screen. I wouldn't mind listening to something on the background, but I'd rather have it off my screen so I can actually view everything.
So you're like a deer when they see the light, they freeze, and you're like, man.
No, it's like I'm trying to look behind. I'm trying to look behind the screen because there's something behind that screen I can't see.
But the screen is not that big, but it's decent. It's not that big, but it's decent.
There's still information that, again, and that's the thing is we're all different. We all have different viewpoints on different things.
Yeah, we did. This is definitely a contentious thing, and I feel that I'm in the minority of content creators that has an issue with this. Most content creators won't have an issue with it. They'll find reasons why this is okay, which is fine. They can have their reasons. I have my reasons why I don't think it's okay.
Yeah,
just
me too.
throwing it out there. All right, let's see. Xbox Gamer says, shout out to Xbox Gamer. Thank you so much for being here. You are the real MVP. He says, I turned on my Xbox this morning, signed in. At least I have one more day before Xbox dies. Yeah. Definitely, you have one more day. Absolutely. All right, let's move on. Let's move on to some bittersweet news, I guess. So, former Xbox game studio Tango Gameworks and Hi-Fi Rush have been acquired by PUBG's Crackdown Inc., saving it from closure. Now, they got Tango Gameworks and they took Hi-Fi Rush with them, but The Evil Within, Ghostwire Tokyo
That's it.
stay with Xbox. So those IPs stay with Xbox, but Hi-Fi Rush goes with them. Now, this is great news for the studio. It's not shutting down. Fantastic. I still think Xbox made a huge mistake shutting down a Game of the Year making studio, their only Japanese studio in their whole library. I think they made a huge mistake. But this is good for the studio because Xbox decided instead of just straight up shutting everybody down, that they're just going to be like, hey, who wants them? Who wants a deal? Come on, 50% off.
Mm-hmm.
Come get it. You know? And they struck a deal with PUBG, Crackdown Inc. So this is a more of a celebration to them. And of course, my good buddy Doggy's going to love this because now that means that he's going to see his video game crush of, what's this girl's name? Cinnamon?
Cinnamon.
No, it's not Cinnamon, is it?
I thought it was Cinnamon.
Is it Cinnamon? Well, his crush, this girl.
That's
Is it Cinnamon?
no,
It's not Cinnamon.
it's café con leche. It's
Oh
coffee
my
with
God.
milk.
I don't remember her name. Whatever her name is, his crush. It's his crush, not mine, by the way. That his crush is going to be in a second game possibly in the future. And again, guys, Hi-Fi Rush uses licensed music. If you haven't played it, play it now while the licensed music is
Peppermint.
there. Peppermint. Thank you. Peppermint. That's her name. Sorry.
Cinnamon.
Peppermint. Whatever. Peppermint. It's his crush, not mine. And you need to play it while you still can because it uses licensed soundtrack. It does have its own original soundtrack. So when those licenses expire, original soundtrack is going to come in. So everybody should play Hi-Fi Rush. Highly recommended. Highly recommend that everybody fall in love with Peppermint. Like Doggy. Freaking Doggy. Peppermint. Get it right, dang it. Lots of hearts to Peppermint from Doggy. You're always so funny. Shadai. Tango Gameworks not shutting down. Last we heard it was shutting down, and now we're hearing it's getting acquired, being sold along with the rights to Hi-Fi Rush. How do you feel about this?
I am upset. I'm like you, but at the same time happy because yes, Xbox made a huge mistake. They always wanted it to enter the Japanese market, and they just blew it with this. Like really blew it, especially with that stupid
Game of the Year contender.
Yeah, and then that stupid comment that Matt Booty said, "But we're looking for a studio that give us awards," and Tango Gameworks gave them a picture of a whole shelf full of awards. It's like, come on now, you're looking for an excuse. Mm-hmm. Xbox made a huge mistake with this. Like, they dropped the ball, but this is more like, yes, they bought it, but I guess I'm with you also that they sold it because they want to make money somehow. Mm-hmm. And if you look at it by Krafton buying this, at least they have a more polished and recognizable studio on Tango Gameworks. Because if you look at their list, the only game that is popular is PUBG and the colossal failure of Callisto Protocol. So that's like saying, you know what? Let's get Tango Gameworks because we fell on those things and we have a veteran in Tango Gameworks. So they're trying to bolster their portfolio after those failures. So that's a huge pickup for them. A really huge pickup for Crafting. I can't wait for Hi-Fi Rush 2 because remember they were working on it. They showed it to Microsoft. Microsoft. They say, "Nah, we don't want it."
Meh.
Yeah, nah.
Meh.
Yeah. So come on now.
Like Rhythm, we're Microsoft. We don't know anything about Rhythm.
Yeah. So they really dropped the ball on this one. This is a huge game. A really huge game.
It's so good.
I'd rather lower 343 staff a little bit.
How dare you, sir? How dare you say such blasphemous things?
That's my specialty. But just to keep them, just to keep them. But this one, it got a sting. It really. But I think it was. I know it was a couple of episodes back. I can't remember, and I did said it, and I'm gonna keep it. That will be. They are acting like Embracer. They buy a lot of things, and they start selling like you're just pretty much wasted money right there.
Yep.
They're really acting like Embracer Group right now.
Yeah,
So
they bought the studio only to get rid of an award-winning IP.
and I'm
Ah.
I'm gonna keep my word for it. They're really acting like
But
Embracer.
this is good news for us gamers who love Hi-Fi Rush, who
Yes,
are bummed out that we may never see it again. Now we get to do it. So this is what I mean. It's bittersweet. It sucks that it's no longer first party, but it's awesome that the IP stays alive through Crafton.
you know
Hopefully,
what?
Crafton will put the right amount of money into it and make it even better.
You know what? They just pulled. If you no, we're talking about this. They just pulled an Alan Wake because they
Oh,
wanted to make Alan Wake 2, and Microsoft said no because supposedly they were having problems with Remedy until I think it was Epic who funded that funded Remedy, and we ended up having Alan Wake 2 because Microsoft said no. They just pulled another Alan Wake, another mistake by Microsoft.
yeah.
Another year, game of the year contender in Alan Wake.
Alan Wake. Yes. So let me catch up with the chat real quick. So let's see. My beautiful wife says, "How come you call Mr. Doggy's How come you call Mr. Doggy's girlfriend wrong name? Unacceptable." Doggy Dog says, "Yes, unacceptable. Peppermint and Cinnamon are never gonna get along together. That's why he left Cinnamon, dude." Yeah. So apparently, Doggy broke up with his longtime girlfriend from the club. If you know what I mean. Cinnamon to be with Peppermint. Yeah. Yeah. That's right. Let's see. Tango Gameworks Hi-Fi Rush sold, but not making profit, and they have to cut some studios. And glad it was sold. I think their partnership in Japan is a smart move. Like I said, I'm just. It was their only Japanese studio. They definitely Microsoft. It's not like Microsoft doesn't have the money to fund something until it works, or give it another shot. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Let's see. PC is not $8 cheaper. They're not like that. Ultimate, you get it all. That's not a good argument point. PC Game Pass is way cheaper than console Game Pass. Right, Fred? Did I get that wrong? Let me pull it up. Now I'm going to research it.
I don't know the price. I
Let's
haven't
see.
looked anymore.
PC
I know they.
Game Pass price. PC Game Pass is $9.99. Let me see. Console Game Pass price is $16.99.
Yeah, but it's. I got
That's
an
not
email
$8.
from them.
Sorry, I meant $7. So,
Yeah, but I got an email that my Ultimate's going to go up to 19.
Yeah,
So
yeah, $20. Yeah,
$8 is an average.
yeah. Anyways, let's see. Let's see. Fastback says there must be more going on behind the scenes for this game that Xbox did not have full control of this IP. Maybe.
Could be.
Yeah, could be. Dread. How do you feel about this Tango Gameworks bittersweetness a little bit? Bittersweetness.
For just for being greedy and all that, it sucks. But being realistic, it's stuff that we're gonna see happen. Anytime you buy a big studio, um, they have to justify just the same thing with Bethesda. There's so much overlapping that you don't need that. So there will always be positions that will be on the chopping block. Um,
Mm-hmm.
for giving up the game to let it go. I think it was just hey, here's your consolation prize, even though you guys are, you know, leaving us
Mm-hmm.
because but at least they found someone to buy them versus
Mhm.
shutting them down. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
for those devs, the uncertainty had to suck. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man,
But
this has got to be no worse feeling than being laid off, man.
Phil Spencer gotta
yeah,
be hurt, like stupid Statia.
yeah. So and unfortunately, it's one of those things where they're in a in a transitional period anyway. So they don't even know if their jobs are secure, regardless of being bought out. So I feel for the devs more than anything. I hate to see them doing what they did and giving up the IP, but at the same time, they did that with Sunset Overdrive. If they
Hmm.
weren't going to make anything with it, why not just let the studio that had it go with it, because they're the ones that are going to make the sequel
Hmm.
and make it, or at least have the opportunity to make a sequel and actually make a good sequel. Because anybody else making a sequel off of Hi-Fi Rush in the Xbox side would probably never have anything close to what this is.
Hmm.
So, and it would probably, again, get abandoned by everybody. So what's the point? So when you give away an IP like this, it makes sense. At least the IP can live on if they decide to make a two and continue on. It all depends on their new owners.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
So it just sucks, but at least they're alive.
Yeah, so this is a good for us gamers, for us fans of Hi-Fi Rush. This is great news.
Hmm.
Um, for for Xbox, I think losing the studio in an area where you should have a presence, that kind of sucks. But hey, maybe they have a plan that we don't know about. Maybe they already have another studio in the works. Ha! Get that Tango Gameworks in the
Yeah,
works.
but they
You
kept
see what
the
I
other
did there?
IPs. So
Yeah.
Yeah, but the problem, you know what's gonna happen? They're probably gonna sell it later to them.
You know, as you said, Dredd, it's better to do something with the IPs than do nothing.
Yep.
Because like you brought up Sunset Overdrive, nothing happened since it brought up. Even though a lot of people say it's fantastic.
but they've been
Rise
busy
of the
making
Rome is another
Spider-Man
IP
games.
that's just abandonware at this point.
Yeah,
So I think this is probably better for both the IP and the studio. So at least Xbox was self-aware enough to know that, hey, you know what, we're not going to do anything with it. Who wants to do something with it?
yeah, but Insomniac's been making Spider-Man games as opposed to making Sunset Overdrive 2. So
Yeah,
and as far as we know, they've been trying to make it. It's just Sony's had them making Spider-Man games. So
yeah. Well, I mean, that's they're owned by Sony
that's
now,
on them.
so
Yeah, that's on them. You know what I mean? It's
yeah.
not on Xbox. Xbox sold them off and they got to keep the IP. But that's all on them on not making doing anything with it.
They could make a smaller version,
Oh my
part two
gosh,
of
Doggy brought it
Song
up.
of Sea.
He says, "Great news for a probable sequel, but it'll probably skip Xbox, knowing my luck." Oh dang, that would suck. That would suck. Let's see. Understanding. Shout out to you. Thank you so much for being here. You are the real MVP. He says 1866. That's his ultimate price. What he's at.
Hmm.
Let's see. Happy Cloud Gamer has never finished Hi-Fi Rush. Finish it, bro. Finish it. Let's see.
Yeah, finish it. Great game.
Yeah. Understanding says, "What's up with all this concern for game developers? They're fine. They'll find more work easily. It's not as easy as you think, bro. But I do hope that I do hope that everybody who wants to work on a video game gets to work on one, because I know for a lot of us that's a dream to make a game, and sometimes it comes true, sometimes it doesn't. So yeah, yeah. Let's see. Insomniac has been wanting to do Sunset Overdrive for 2 years now, but yeah,
Yeah, see, there you go.
yeah, yeah,
That's true. Remember, they did Song of Sea, the little small scale one, the submarine one.
yeah. So let's see. So what I did here was that so much talent has been going out the door over at Tango Gameworks. That's always rumors like that, man. People say that happens, and then some people say it doesn't happen. So yeah. So we hear both sides. So yeah, there you go. Crafted Inc. coming in to save the day. That's right. That's right.
Oh,
Anything else from either one of you?
here's some news. Kraft is buying Velveeta, so rage out about that one.
Kraft is buying Velveeta. Okay, sure.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Sure.
Don't look it up. I'm kidding.
I don't care. I don't.
I'm an insider.
Insider? Oh no. Rumor.
It's a
Hey,
humor
so,
rumor.
hey,
Humor rumor.
supposedly the CEO went to Microsoft with a cape, and it says kink.
Okay,
That says Crafton Inc. So for short term, for abbreviation for kink.
there you go. Let's see.
That
Let's
would be
move the show right
PlayStation.
along here.
That was a
Yeah, I
joke
agree.
there.
Yeah, sorry, I can't carry on that joke. Should I? Sorry. Let's see. So, moving on to some more news here. There's a game developer, an indie game developer with an indie game called HAAK.
Mm.
And he made an announcement, and this guy says, "Good stuff. How's the Xbox version going on, by the way? Hopefully, some good news soon." And they replied, I'm going to put this on full screen because it is long. But they replied, "Thank you very much for your help and attention. However, during the process of getting our game on Xbox, we encountered numerous obstacles. What seemed like a simple procedure turned into a nightmare due to many bugs in the Microsoft Partner Center, preventing us from successfully completing account registration. Even Microsoft's support service system had bugs, making it impossible to initiate inquiries about our issues. This is simply unbelievable for developers. We informed ID at Xbox about our predicament, but they were powerless to help as it apparently falls outside of their scope of responsibility and seems to be a Microsoft issue." Let me scroll a little. In reality, porting the Xbox version of our game would have taken less than 2 weeks, but we spent over 14 months trying to apply for game publication and complete Microsoft Partner Identity registration. This experience has been terrible because we can feel the enthusiasm from the Xbox community players, yet we struggle to resolve problems on hand. Although we very much want to share, is it HAAK or HAAK? HAAK? HAAK?
HAAK
Adventure
Tour.
story.
Are you okay? It seems like you're having swallowing
I'm
problems.
just gonna say HAAK. Even though we want to share HAAK's adventure story with more players, our development funds are extremely tight, and we can't afford to wait any longer. As a result, we've ultimately decided to abandon the Xbox platform release. We deeply regret this outcome, but we truly done our best. To be honest, this is the first time since we started developing games that we felt such enthusiastic support from our players. This has convinced us that the Xbox community must be truly amazing. We love it. We're incredibly grateful to Xbox players who have offered support and assistance. Damn. Damn. Now, I'm going to pause there. I'm going to put some gameplay of HAAK or however you say this game on here. That kind of sucks, that a developer, we've been saying games are skipping Xbox is unacceptable. We had Capcom skipping Xbox famously many times, and now indie developers seem to be skipping Xbox because the process sucks. And knowing Microsoft, they're going to look at this and you're like, you know what, this could use more AI. Fire people, hire more AI. Just throwing it out there. That's kind of what they do. That's their thing. We're almost to that point in the year, in fall when the yearly layoffs come around. So yeah, it's just the way they do things. But HAAK is skipping Xbox not because the developer, according to what the developer put on X, not because of them, but because the process sucks. Well, what do you think about this, Shaddai?
This morning, I'm like, what the heck is that? What is it called? Microsoft, whatever program they use.
Yeah, the Partnership Center. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, what is that thing? And I start looking, and it's supposedly Microsoft helps indies, with
Mm-hmm.
a lot of the things like for the marketing and for customer service and all that. And I'm like, they said 14 months. That's a year and 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
So you're telling me that all this time that they could have asked for assistance, and supposedly they asked some people, like some of them they went
Mm-hmm.
smooth, some of them had a hard time. So you're telling me that you had problems for a year and 2 months? Either your processing was either late or it was something else. because
Yeah.
that's something that you have to work on. I don't know if they had to do a waiting list or whatever it is, but it is something that you have to work on ahead of time before release date or anything like that, so you don't have any sort of problem like this. I think it's not the I'm not gonna say anything because I don't work on that process, whatever. But if you really want assistance by Microsoft or any other company, you really have to be doing it on time. You have to. And I think this is one of those that you didn't prepare yourself on time. And pretty much is like, well, if it's not gonna get ready, we can't do, we can't help you. So I think it's more of a timing. They just did it on the right, they didn't plan it correctly. That's the way I feel like. I think they didn't plan
So
it.
you think there's more the developers issue than Microsoft issue?
Yeah, I think that's pretty much
You know,
it.
you're not the only one who's brought that up. You know, some people have been saying that there's no way because they've had no problems and no one's ever said anything like this. But so you're not the only one that has brought this up.
Yeah, it's you just
Yeah.
you just did a poor planning. That's pretty much it. You just did a poor planning, and the timing wasn't on on your end, so you had no other
Mhm.
choice to decide not to release it. So I think that's not a skip. It's just poor timing. That's all.
Mm. Yeah. So that could be again. Some people have said what you said. Before we move on, Dreadpool, what do you think? Do you think this is Microsoft and Xbox failing developers and in exchange, limiting the amount, the types of games we get on Xbox?
I don't know. I think it's a little suspect.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm thinking. Um,
I think it's
just
sus.
a little, yeah, something doesn't sound right. Nobody else has had an issue.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, that's
Um,
not true. Just not to that extent.
not to this extent, right?
Yes.
And I know a developer that's a friend of mine that also has a game that went to Xbox and had no issues, and he's a singular person. So how did
So
these
hold on. You have a developer friend and he hasn't hooked me up with a code? No, I'm just kidding.
he was able to do his stuff?
Yeah.
So I don't know. You tell me. You guys heard a game called Song of Iron?
Yeah.
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 So he hasn't had any issues.
Mm-hmm.
So he's a singular person. How do these people not have an issue? Or I'm sorry, how do these people have an issue when they could have multiple people, multiple contacts
Mm-hmm.
getting
Mm-hmm.
through? And I do like our good friend 3-Bit says something smells fishy here on his tweet, like quantum error. They're
Oh,
using
oh,
it.
Oh.
oh,
Oh.
dang. Don't bring that one up. We don't talk about that. Oh,
So
man. So, and I love the background you put, sus.
yeah. So you tell me.
Well, let's
Yeah.
let's talk about it. Let's talk about the sus. All right. So, Danny Pena of Gamer Hack Radio, you know who he is, right?
Danny
Or Gamer
Pena.
Radio, Gamer Talk Radio, whatever he is, right?
Gamer Tag Radio.
Gamer Tag. There we go. Gamer Tag. He looked into it. He posted an article. He says hack developer cancels Xbox port, cites Microsoft Partner Center bugs as reason. So he talks about how weird it was, right? This released in 2022 on PC and recently released on itch.io Marketplace, whatever that is. They're working on a PS port and was working on an Xbox port, but it's apparently no longer happening. And then he posted the thing. He said, so here's the meat and potatoes of it all, right? He says, I have spoke to a handful of indie developers today since HAAK announcement to see if anyone has had similar issues. Every single one of them said they did encounter bugs. Every single one. And issues with the backend of Microsoft Partner Center. One dev described it as a maze and unfriendly. However, all the developers said they received good and quick
Yeah.
support from Xbox who were quick to guide them through and fix the problem.
That's the reason why I'm
Yeah.
saying you're supposed to, if you need help, you have to do it on time. It's a timing issue.
Yeah. One also said this is nothing new. They experienced these similar issues many years ago, though again, after reaching out to proper channels, it was rectified. And finally, he asked if this was an Xbox problem or an industry problem. The general response I got was that all console platforms are not exactly user friendly when it comes to the certification issue.
Mm.
So there you go. And this is him just basically saying this, not to say that they're lying or anything, but he spoke to lots of people. So shout out to Danny Penna from Gamer Tag Radio for this bit of follow up. I love how he spoke to other indies. And so they said that they all encountered issues, but they all had help that worked. So there you go. So again, a little bit sus, if you will, but that's not to say that it didn't happen. So
Well, I
you
didn't
know,
say it didn't
HAAK is
happen. I'm just
a
saying it's a little sus as to why it can't happen.
yeah. But if it's a problem, if it's a maze, then that's something that Xbox needs to improve on as well. Is the certification for indies to make indies come, but not so easy that we start getting a bunch of weird indies like
But
Steam does.
it's not just Xbox. It's not just Xbox. It's other
Yeah,
platforms. So again, they said all console. So it's not just
they did
Xbox.
say all consoles. Yeah.
So again, they're trying to blame Xbox for it. Again, they have multiple people playing, working on this.
Mm-hmm.
So why does it take 14 months to finally give up? I don't think that they were really pushing on it, and you know,
Yeah. Hmm. So
Fastback. That's
HAAK,
called the
by the way,
sequel.
HAAK on Steam has a 96% positive over the last 30 days. So
Yeah,
it's
could
not
be
a
a good
bad game
game.
for everybody who's like, oh, this
That's why
game
it
looks
says it's
bad, but
sus.
it's an indie game, you know, and a good indie game at that. Well, according to Steam reviews, it's a good indie game.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way I'll say it. So yeah. Um. So yeah, there you go. Something interesting from that showed up just yesterday. So yeah. And again, the only reason I care about this is because, you know, again, it limits the games that are available for us to choose from on Xbox. So I'm always for having more choices. If this isn't your type of game, it's not your type of game, you know. But if it is your type of game, then hey, then join the club here. I love Metrovanias personally. Personally, I love Metrovanias, but I understand that they're not for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So there you go. So now that you read, now that we saw Daddy Penna, should I? Does it change your opinion any on it?
No, no, I'm gonna stay with what I said. Is is a timing issue. You pretty much didn't plan it on time. That's on them right there. They just gave them all the tools that they needed, even for bugs that they were talking about. They had that support. They
Mm-hmm.
really had that support. That's on them. So I stay with that comment. I stay with my
Okay.
opinion. Yep.
There you go. Stay away from that comment.
Mm.
All right. So I personally think that they definitely could have, if a developer is saying something, you should listen. But, and it doesn't seem like it's a one person issue. Other developers have said that they have similar issues, but not all of them are. But, all of them say that, hey, they run into a maze. It's like a maze, which is never good. Your process should not be like a maze. Just throwing that out there. So yeah, let's see. Let's check in with the chat, see how they feel. Let's see. Let me scroll up to where. And, well, wow, there's some stuff in this chat. Wow. Let's see. Da, 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 da. Doggy Dog says hawk to a.
I said that earlier.
You did, but it's funnier when doggy. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
I'm just messing.
that
Let's
would be the
see.
sequel too, by the way.
Yes. Understanding sense sounds like BS, bro. That sucks. Hardcore Hawk. Let's see. No point in crying over spilt IP. Rush was cool, but not all that. Oh, whoa. Rush was the IP of the generation. I'm just kidding. Let's see. Doggy Dog says, honestly, I don't give a crap about this game. Game to go get your low sales on PlayStation. Damn. Oh man, I love Metroidvania, so I'm not in the same boat as Doggy.
Now you know how I feel when it comes to JRPGs.
Yeah. Game Complainer says this game looks like poop anyway. Let's see. In sarcasm, Understanding says everything is always Microsoft's fault. Fastback says, what is this? It's a Metroidvania. Yeah, it's a Metroidvania. Understanding says they'll figure out the process once their game doesn't sell on PlayStation. Oh, pracha. DE says, what do you do when it says weeks? That turns into months. These HAAK guys act like this is the next big game that Microsoft won't take. I mean, if I was a developer and I could get my game on your system if I wanted to, that would suck for me, man. That would make me feel bad. Just throwing it out there. It would make me feel sad and bad. So yeah. Batman is out of here. He says, everybody have a good day. Hey, take it easy. Understanding says, I actually bought that game. Nice. Let us know what you thought about it. Either way, they never got back to them within 15 business days, or somebody's email went into a spam folder. Yeah, I mean, you never know what happens with these support emails. I've had issues like that in my own profession, where emails just get lost. Let's see. Shout out to Splendiferous. Thank you so much for being here. You are the real MVP. So wait a minute. Is ID at Xbox running the indie show or not? Yeah, but you still got to remember they're part of Microsoft's Corp. You need a Microsoft accounts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let's see. Fastback says this game would have done better if it was called Haktua. This game was made way before that became a meme. Splendiferous. They're full of crap. Sony paid them. Wow. If Subway My Way app can get an Xbox app, there's no reason why this one can't. Wow. There you go. Let's see. Doggy Dog says he would have played this if it was on Game Pass. Oh. You know what, bro? You know what? I'm not even gonna justify you right now. Let's see. Where's Xbox PR damage control setting the record straight? Man, they did it on Friday. You know everybody's off. I'm not going to work just to PR damage control this. Just saying, right? Let's see. The devs one-sided complaint must be true because it's on the internet. Maybe not. But anyways, this should just, Danny Penna's article said that every developer has run into something. Not a single one said that they didn't. So there is some truth to this, that the certification process needs some improvement overall. Any final thoughts on this, guys?
No.
All right. Dred, anything else?
No,
Looking
we're
kind of
good.
sus over there.
Yeah, still a little sus.
Still sus.
Feeling the sus.
Hey,
Still feeling the sus sauce.
we are skipping it. The same thing they're skipping Xbox.
Yeah. I didn't even know this game existed until I read this article. So, yeah.
If you didn't know that, look how good it was. I didn't know about it either.
Some games I find them really late in my life. Like, there's a game that I want called. I added it to my wish list recently.
Moving out since you were moving.
It might be called Blasphemous.
Oh yeah, I love that game.
There's a game called Blasphemous, and it I kind of was thinking, I should totally 100% play this game. So I've added it to my wish list, and come to find out, the game's like 10 years old. So yeah, sometimes you don't discover a game for a few years. Doesn't mean it's not good. It's just, other games had your attention at the time.
That's a heck of a game.
Yeah, I want to play it. For sure. Anyways, guys, any closing thoughts before we get going?
I'm glad to be back.
Yes, I'm glad you're back too.
Just enjoy life. Don't take things too serious.
Mm-hmm.
It's gaming. I have my gamer meltdowns, and they go about as far as gaming meltdowns go. They don't go into real life.
Yeah, there are limits. There are limits.
Yeah, no. Anyways, guys, of course, that's going to do it for the topics today. We wouldn't be able to do this show without you guys, the chat, and that's why you guys, the chat, will always be the MVP to all of the shows here on the Iconic Video Games channel. With that being said, we are going to go ahead and get out of here. I'm Axel1324.
I'm Eternal Shaddai.
And I'm Dreadpool.